Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus Sheffield United in Sheffield. I put Manchester United first because this is the United Stand and we put Manchester United first. But today's the day we can go fifth, people. We can go into fifth place. Welcome to the stream. It's sponsored by OneFootball today, the OneFootball app. Please do download it. Links in the video description. You can get all your football news, all your stats, everything there. So do give it a download. It's on Apple and it's on Android. Fantastic app. We'll be using it throughout the show. You can cast your man of the match. You can predict who's going to win. All sorts of stuff. Very, very free and very, very easy to do. So links in the video description for that. Team news is about to come in. Very interested to see what the midfield is going to be about. We've had an international break, of course, and we are well, I don't know how you're feeling. I'm going to start having a look in the live comments and finding out how you are feeling. But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling confident today. I said this before the international break. I fully expect Manchester United to win today. I think the opportunity to go into fifth place is a situation that we're going to look back on in weeks to come if we don't take it. So we've got to take this opportunity today. I think we've had a very. I am wearing a Cantona jumper. You can get yours. They're selling very well. Christmas jumper. Link in the video description. Get them while they're hot. 5 Cantonars. It's the only thing to wear this Christmas party time, this Christmas jumper day. I think it's in the middle of December. Get yours, get it delivered worldwide. Link in the video description. But I am feeling confident. I'm intrigued as to how we're going to line up. Will we go with a 5-3-2 because we're worried about them playing a 5-3-2? I don't like that formation. I've been very honest about that. But look, I'm feeling confident we're going to win today. We're waiting for the team news to come in. In fact, the team news is in. It's just come in. De Gea in goal, Jones, Maguire and Lindelof. So yes, it looks like we are going to be playing a back five with Andreas, Fred, James, Martial and Rashford. So Williams plays as well. So yeah, it's going to be a back five then, isn't it? Unless Phil Jones is going to fill in the midfield. It's interesting how we've done that. 5-3-2. You know what? I'm gonna change the team news for you now because that's the first thing that's incorrect there, and I'm sort of gonna have a little bit of a play here. I would not have predicted that Phil Jones would start, but apart from that, so Lingard is the player that comes out of our lineup, and Phil Jones comes into it, which is rather interesting. So how do we think this is going to work, people? I personally think that I just think that we're going to be a 5-2-3. I think. I'm interested by this one. I mean, I'm just messing around with it on screen now. So Williams will definitely play as a fullback there. He's going to go there. I think Maguire. We drop De Gea down there. Jones, Lindelof. I mean, look, look, let me just show you. Let me just show you on screen first of all. This is how I think we're going to go, and then you lot can have your say, of course. But it's interesting that Phil Jones is in the team, isn't he? Nothing is going to dampen my mood, is what I'm going to say. Nothing's going to dampen my mood. So there's the change in the team selection for you there. Look, we've had an international break. Any rage moments have been suppressed, I suppose, for most people. I don't know about that lineup. I don't know. Phil Jones is not a player I would have brought in, but we know Rojo's injured. We know Twansebi's injured. He's obviously gone 3 at the back. I don't like 3 at the back with United. I can't be hypocritical here. I don't like 3 at the back because against Partizan Belgrade, it's the worst we've ever played. Against Liverpool, we were at home against the best team in the league and we basically sat back. And we did it against somebody else, Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, and it didn't work. And when we went to a 4-4-2, we were a lot better team. But I think what this is about is, and I was listening to this when I was driving back from doing the True Geordie yesterday, is that nobody's really figured out how to deal with Sheffield United yet. And I think that's maybe why we've gone 3 at the back. It's a total respect to Sheffield United. This is not how United should be playing. You know, I think 4-3-3 is our best formation. And we've changed it for Sheffield United. So, you know, those people who say that Ollie doesn't have a plan B or he isn't tactically aware, you know, he has changed it. So, you know, would I have changed it? I don't know enough about Sheffield United, to be honest. It's going to be a wake-up call to me. Mark, after yesterday's result against Southampton, we have replaced you as the banter club, and we are worse, says Amy Assey, the Arsenal fan. And Jordan Such says, I think it will be a United win, but I would never say fully expect to win, not with these group of players. Wish I had your confidence, Mark. Also, remember how difficult it was for Liverpool going there. I am fairly confident. I just think that I'd rather have Mata play than bringing Jones in, says Susp. Yeah, I would like to have gone the 4-2-3-1, but I'm not going to go over the top on that. We'll judge it at full time, I think. I think with the international break, we're coming into this a little bit fresh, aren't we? So let's see what happens. We'll have to rely on Maguire for ball progression, says Mazzy at 99. And Red Baron says, do you think Arsenal fans, just like us United fans, are now seeing the painful realisation we both had great managers and now we're both in the forest looking for any decent manager? It's an interesting point, Red Baron. Probably not one that we want to delve into too much before the game's even kicked off. But it is an interesting Manchester United lineup, I've got to be honest with you. And let me just go through the bench for you as well. So Grant's on the bench. I don't know what's wrong with Romero. Twansebi has made the bench. Young is on the bench. Garner on the bench. Lingard, Mata and Greenwood. So not a great bench apart from Greenwood. You've got Mata and Lingard, who very rarely offer anything. Garner's a young player. Ashley Young, I mean, what's he going to do? And Twansebi, obviously, is a backup centre-back who I think would have played if he was match fit. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer really wants to play Phil Jones. Having said that, the positive side is that Brandon Williams starts, and I think we all said that Brandon Williams deserves to start, and he is starting, and I think that's something to be very positive about. Charles Crane says, I think the 3 at back is too negative. Frustrated, he has picked it. Well, you know, just to pick up on that, Charles, and everybody in the live comments, I'll be swayed by you here. I mean, I've just gone off the top of my head how that team looks like it will line up, but 5-2-3 is not what people normally play. It's normally a 5-3-2, but I don't see who's going to play in a midfield 3 from Rashford or James, really. So I think it will be a 5-2-3. I think what we're going to try and do is, because Sheffield United play a back 5 and basically they have overlapping centre backs, I think they're going to try and push their defence back by playing three up front. But we could get swamped in the midfield if we don't put an extra body in there. It is a bit defensive. I don't. You know what? I don't know until this game kicks off. Is the honest answer. I don't know until this game kicks off how it's going to go. I mean, Ings V says Sheffield United are very awkward to play against with the way they disrupt build-up play. This gives more width in the build-up, which I guess is the points. There you go. And Jordan Such says, also Sheffield United got results against Spurs, Chelsea and Arsenal. And Rahul 5 says, going 3-4-3 with Fred and Pereira, says that Ollie doesn't think Lingard is good enough to play number 10 in a 4-3-3. And Magic Eye says, I love this show. I'm going to say this, we are going to lose this game. I said it last week. If we don't, I will put $20 in Super Chat. Remember the name. Fame. Magic Eye is the name. And yeah, look, well, let's just see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. I think that I'm still positive that we're going to get a result. I am going to be absolutely honest and say that I am delving into this game with a little bit of Christmas festivity. I've just been watching Home Alone, so I do feel in a good mood. I've had a nice pork lunch and I'm wearing my Christmas jumper, so I'm feeling positive. And I think too many people say, as United fans, we're too negative. Well, I'm coming into this game positive. Maybe not a lot of people feel like that, but I'm going to come into this game positive, and let's see if this football club, like it doesn't normally, reward that positivity, or will it stick a pin in it and let it explode into negativity? Let's wait and see. But I don't know enough about Sheffield United, so I'm going to be absolutely arrogant and say I expect to beat a team like Sheffield United. I'm fully aware that they're doing very, very well this season, but as I said at the start of the stream, for Manchester United, we go 5th today if we win. After the start to the season we've had, we go 5th today. And I don't know how many points Mourinho had at this point of the season last year, but I think he had a lot more. But we would be 5th today. In fact, I must take a note of that. It's something I really would like to know. How many points Jose had at this time last season? Maybe that can be brought into a show in the future. We can't open up teams. That's sit deep. Let's put another defender on. Brilliant, says James Bortles. I think what we're trying to do today is not lose. And I think what we're trying to do today is not get hit on the break, which is what happened against Newcastle. It's what happened against West Ham. So I think that we've gone a little bit defensive. I would agree with that. But I also think that respect has been shown to Sheffield United, of course. And because of that, there is a few fans a little bit annoyed. I mean, look, I don't like Phil Jones, but Phil Jones is the only option we've got if we're going to play 3 centre-backs, because there isn't anybody else fit. Please do smash a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're nearly at 1,000 likes already. And do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we're going to try and hit 583,000 subscribers today. The subscriber count in the top right-hand corner updates every 1,000 subscribers, so I can tell you that we're on 582,400 at the moment. So if we get 600 new ones, that number will change. Please do share the link. You can do that by clicking share if you're already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, bottom right hand corner, we're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams after the game. Flex is there, he's back, he's getting ready to go to Astana, minus 20 degrees, but the United stand will probably be the only fan channel, the only fanzine out in Astana in Kazakhstan on Thursday, because you've got to be everywhere. If you're a fan outlet, that's what you do. You follow the fans. So we will be there on Thursday. It's going to be cold. Remember, it's a 4 o'clock kickoff in the UK. We'll have a watch along for you as well. Lots to look forward to. And I tell you what, you look at what's coming for United. Today's a test. Astana's just an experience. Aston Villa next Sunday, another test. And then the big ones. Wednesday, Mourinho. Saturday, Pep. Can't wait. And it's just game after game after game now. So we've got to be ready. We've got to be ready. And I don't, some people said there, why have you flip-flopped again, Mark? I haven't flip-flopped. I want to be positive in life. I want to have a smile on my face. And I think United take that smile off your face. They make you feel negative. And I've had 2 weeks off, and we've still been doing the United stand, but we've had some good conversations. Everybody who's been watching the show over the international break, we've spoken a lot about a lot of things. But we haven't had any football. We got some football today, and I'm willing to come into this game, give the benefit of the doubt, and say, "Come on, then, show us what you got." Because if we come out of tonight at 5th place, doesn't matter what we think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yes, the league is crap below the top 4, but if we are the next best team beyond the top 4, that's something to work with, isn't it? If we don't come out and stay 5th, I think we'll look back on this opportunity and go, that was the day. That was the day where we established ourselves in 5th place. After everyone's played the same amount of games, we can be the 5th best club in England today. We want to be the 3rd or the 2nd or the 1st, of course we do. But if we can get 5th from a month ago where we were mid-table, I will take that. So it's over to Manchester United players. It's over to Ollie to I'm positive today. Let's keep that positivity going. And so many times they let us down, but let's see. Have we progressed this season? If no, why Ollie in, says Philip Matthews. Well, I think 5th place in a crap league, I admit. Willie S. Solis says, do you think if we lose or tie or play horrible, the pressure will mount with Pochettino looming out there? Cheers from Sacramento. Ready for the match. Glory, glory, Manchester United, says Willie J. Solis. She was only 17 years old, says Red Baron. Oh, Harry Bane. I did a really crap Bane impression yesterday from Batman, and I can't stop doing it now because I think I'm good at it, but I'm crap. So basically, I was watching Spurs, and somebody said, "Can you do a Bane from Batman?" And I went, "Oh, Harry Bane. I'm Harry Bane. Pass me the ball, honey." That's probably just made loads of people turn off. But yeah, look, 5 at the back shows Ollie is scared. It's concerning, says Timmy H. If we were to lose or draw today, will there be pressure for Pochettino? No, well, yes. Not from me, but I know there are already United fans out there that want Pochettino to take this job. That is your right, of course it is. But for me, I was on the Tree Geordie kickoff yesterday, and I was asked about this, and Hugh, who's an Arsenal fan, and Chelsea fan Rory, and I think even Loz and Brian. Brian's obviously a Newcastle fan, Loz is a Liverpool fan. They were quite surprised how dismissive I was of Pochettino. If Pochettino becomes United's next manager because Solskjaer gets sacked, I'm not going to go Poch out. I like him, but he doesn't play with wingers. And one thing I do know about Manchester United is that we play with wingers. That's what we always have been about, and I want to play with width. We're playing with width today. So that's what worries me about Pochettino. I'd rather have Brendan Rodgers. But the thing is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is our manager. The club have got no intention of sacking him. So talking about other managers for me at the moment is concerning, because we're not at that point anyway. Mark, after 12 games last season, Jose had 20 points. So that's from Stephen Nesbitt. And we've got 16. So, Jose's still doing a better job than him. Poch is not a winner, says Jake Bullman. And, well, you know, Jose had a different team last year, so why compare, says Baba Zula. You might have had a different girlfriend last year. You'll still compare her, trust me. And probably Pereira will go more up top, and the three at the back is probably going to be to not let them hit us. I think it just shows Ollie is not actually stupid, says Raker. Pochettino in, Solskjaer out, says Tom Healy. And Mark, last year, after 13 games, we had 21 points. Goal difference and -1 goal difference and sitting in 7th. Man City were top with 35 points. This season, after 12 games, we sit 10th with 16 points. I think the league is a worse league this year, isn't it? Beyond the top 4, there's a lot of inconsistency. And our goal difference is better than that because we've been living off that opening day Chelsea win all season. That 4-0 win at the start of the season has really helped our goal difference this year. 3-4-3 says Adad. Well, what have I got? I'm happy to change. I mean, you could basically say that's a 3-4-3, isn't it? I mean, Williams and Wan-Bissaka over there, they're sort of pushing forward from that 3, and I think that's probably what we are going to do today. I think when we play the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, a lot of people assume that there's going to be 3 people in the midfield, but I can't see how we're doing that today because Pereira is going to play in the midfield. It's not really his position, but Dan James or Rashford dropping in as a number 10, it's definitely not theirs. But we'll have to wait and see. Do I think United can get top 4? No, I don't. But what today has to be about is getting hold of 5th. Arsenal. If we, tonight, if we're ahead of Arsenal, I'm like, what the hell? How has that happened? It's amazing. So, and I'm not, I know Arsenal are banter and everything like that, but Arsenal were looking like they were just going to pull away from us at one point, and now we've got an opportunity to go ahead of them, and I think we've got to take that opportunity. That was a good impression, mate. Let's kill the game off. Glory Manchester United. Let's take the game to Jose, says Rahul Ramchandran. Well, look, let's get a bit of interaction going here. The link in the video description, top line, is for the OneFootball app. You can download it for free. It's available on Apple and Android. We will be referring to it throughout the game because it's got good stats and everything on it. But one thing you can do if you have the OneFootball app in front of you, download it, link in the video description. It's free on Apple and Android, but if you go into it, when you open up, you can follow a specific team so you get all the latest news for Manchester United, which is what I do. But if you click on matches, you will see that Sheffield United versus Manchester United is the top match. You can predict the result. It's you might be able to see it on the screen there if it adjusts. Yeah, there you go. 1x or 2. X is a draw, 1 is Sheffield United, 2 is Manchester United. So I'm going to click my prediction now, and I can tell you that 77% of people are voting for a Manchester United win, only 19% are voting for Sheffield United, and only 4% are voting for a draw. I find these OneFootball things quite interesting at times, especially when in the second half, from about 60 minutes in, you can start voting for your man of the match, which is what I really enjoy on this app in the match bits. But 77% people going for United win. I think that's inaccurate on this one, to be honest. I do. I think we will win, but I would put it more around 50% win, 25% draw, and 25% Sheffield United. I don't think it's a landslide. United are going to win it. But links in the video description for that. Make sure you download the OneFootball app. Thank you very much to them for sponsoring the app today. Apart from Garner, what other fit centre midfielder is there, says Mr. Glenn Johnson, and you're spot on with that. I think we all came into this game knowing that our already weak midfield was going to be a little bit weaker. No Scott McTominay, no Paul Pogba, and that could be the case all the way through to the Manchester derby. How do you feel about the lineup, says Jacob Slattery? If I'm absolutely honest with you, Jacob, it's not how I would have gone. I think I said in my pre-match preview that I still stuck with, I thought we'd play the 4-2-3-1. I stand by that. I think that the 4-2-3-1 is the right formation for Manchester United to be playing. I don't like the 3 centre-back thing. And there will be top Reds out there going, yeah, I love it. I'm glad we're back playing that. But it hasn't worked. So why are you back loving playing that? I don't like it. So I would like to have seen the 4-2-3-1, which is what we played against Brighton. I would have pulled Pereira next to Fred. And I would have played a Lingard or a Mata or maybe a Greenwood in that number 10 role. But I'm joined by the Draughty Devil. How are you doing, sir?
I'm all right, mate. How's it going?
Good. As I said, I know last time you were on, you're Mr. Positivity and I was Mr. Stressed Out. I can't remember what game that was. I think it was the Europa. But I feel positive today. I've got my Christmas jumper on, and I feel that the break has been good from football. It's not been a break from the United stand because we've still done daily shows, but the break from United playing, I think, has allowed me to come into this with a positive mindset. As I said, we can come out of this game 5th. If we come out 5th, I still think it's been a shit start to the season, but because everyone else around us has been crap, that's a great opportunity to build on and momentum with. So I fancy us to win today. I think the ball is in Ollie and the players' court. I'm going to be positive. It's up to them if they want to pop that balloon of positivity.
I think, to be honest with you, it's probably going to be 1-0 because Sheffield just don't concede many goals this season. I think they got the second best defence in the Premier League so far, just behind Leicester. So, and they're at home. I think they've only conceded on two occasions, Leicester and Chelsea. So it's going to be a tight game. I can't see us scoring more than one. And that's even if we play well, because Sheffield has just been very, very good at the back. So I think a 1-0, I'll take it. Don't particularly care if it's a boring game. I think it's just going to be one of those grinders. But I not like Grinder the app. But yeah,
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, somebody just said in the live comments there is no Dean Henderson for Sheffield United today because he's on loan from United. He's a very important player for them. And how impactful do you think that is to have arguably one of your best players of the season, but he's a goalkeeper out? Because I think a goalkeeper actually does make a big difference mentally to a team.
It's exactly the same as when De Gea's out. You just feel much more relaxed when De Gea's between the sticks. I think when you got someone like Romero, everyone says he's the second, the greatest substitute goalkeeper, whatever. But you just feel so much more confident when your best keeper's there. So I think for Sheffield, they'll miss Dean today.
Yes. Look, I've actually admitted this. I am coming into this game very arrogant, and I think a lot of United fans are. I've been saying for a while I think we win this game, but I think it's bigger than that for me. We've had the international break. I think we finished before the last international break with a positive result against Brighton, and we come into this Sheffield United game, and for the first time in a long time, we have a bit of momentum. And a lot of that momentum is because of a 2-week break, I must admit. It's almost like a 3-week unbeaten run, but we have that momentum. And I just think that this game, look, I can't wait for Spurs and Man City in 4 days. Those two games in 4 days are going to be huge, absolutely huge. But this game is about where we're going this season. I think if we draw or we lose, it's the same of what we've done for the first 3 months. It's that inconsistency, and then we'll probably beat Villa, and then we'll probably draw with Spurs, then we'll get beat by Man City, and then we'll beat Everton, and we'll just keep being this team between 10th and 6th. But if we win today, I am actually being respectful of Sheffield United because I think we will win, and if we do win, we've beaten a good team, and we go up to 5th, and then you go and beat Villa at home, and then you go into Spurs with some confidence with 3 wins in a row in the Premier League. So I just feel that today is bigger than Sheffield United, and it's almost a pivotal game in our season because it is established a hard game because Sheffield United have had some really good results. Like they didn't get beat at Arsenal, they didn't get beat at Chelsea, they only just got beat 1-0 by Liverpool at Bramall Lane. So it's a pivotal game for United, and I don't even think a draw is enough, although I think we'd all sit there and go, that's not a bad point. We're playing catch up, we need to win. But I just think it's a big game for United, and I think they're going to produce something.
Yeah, I think Sheffield are having one of those like Ipswich seasons. The season Ipswich came up and got 5th?
Yeah.
It does happen quite a bit. Teams come up and do fairly well sometimes, way past expectations, and Sheffield are currently doing that. But, win today, and it is 5th in the Premier League, which, okay, everyone's going, oh, it's only 5th. But considering how badly we started, and the fact that everyone was bantering us a couple of weeks ago, especially Spurs and Arsenal fans, to be above them already, well, they're going to have to take the L because
that's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, yeah, you can banter the rest of the AFTV lot.
Yeah,
so
bring it on. And I never thought we would be doing that this season. I think you've probably hit the nail on the head there. I was trying to keep it a little bit low-key quiet until full time, but I'm really excited, and it's nothing to do with wearing a Christmas jumper. It's like if we win and go 5th, I can be straight on social media bantering the arse off Arsenal Fan TV and Robbie and co. And I never thought I could do that this season. I mean, I had a bet with Robbie at the start of the season. It's quite a big bet. Pick your charity sort of thing, that we'd finish above them. And I nearly paid out when I saw him a few weeks ago because I was like, this is never going to happen. But today, I'm quite surprised. I'm surprised as anybody. I respect people who are Ollie out, even though I'm not, and I know you're not. I do respect it because I do see why they are. I don't think I heard an Arsenal fan on AFTV last night saying that Aubameyang's just a lighter skinned Danny Welbeck, which I wonder whether actually is a bit racist, but probably not. But I still think it's massively disrespectful and stupid for an Arsenal fan to say that about Aubameyang, who's a good player. And I think they're already going into meltdown. And I think we have been moaning about what's going on quite rightly, but we can be fifth tonight. We can be fifth. And I agree, below the top four, I think the league's shit. I mean, I really do. West Ham were nearly top six a month ago. Now they're nearly bottom. So they're in the bottom six. So, below the top four teams, Chelsea, Leicester, Liverpool, City are ridiculously good. But below that, there's a battle to be the top of the shit. And we can be there tonight, fifth. And fifth is what a lot of us predicted. So
it has been a weird season, though, hasn't it? I mean, we beat Chelsea on the first day of the season 4-0. And all of a sudden, they're way up in top four, doing very well under Frank with no signings in the summer. Leicester have come out of, well, let's be fair, nowhere really. Brendan has taken them to... They're probably going to be one of the only teams to actually challenge Liverpool this season for the title. Liverpool have only dropped 2 points against United, which will hurt them, but, it's... Top four have just cantered away, and from fifth down to relegation, it really is anyone's game. So today is massive for a number of reasons, not just for the banter rights, but also because it then it sets us in a good precedent for the rest of the season, hopefully, and we can go on a bit of a run. Because I think right now, the football was crap at the start of the season, but I think there's probably going to be a turnaround at some point. So I'm looking forward to this one.
It's funny because I was watching not Sheffield United. I was watching Chelsea Man City yesterday, and I was saying on the kickoff, I said that watching this game, which I thought was very good. Two brilliant footballing sides, and Liverpool are the same, and they're miles ahead of United. But I said I understand why United are getting results against these teams, why we beat Chelsea, why we drew with Liverpool. Because these teams play very expansive front foot football, and we're like a sponge. We just sit back and hit teams in the space that they present by attacking us. So that I don't like that, but it's sort of the underdog tactic, and that's what United have been doing. So if we can get ourselves to fifth, I don't see any reason why we can't hold on to fifth for a very long time. So it is massive today. Don Island says, I think Maguire will step into midfield when we have possession and drop back as a mid centre back in defence, kind of like what Jose did with Fellaini a couple of times. Well, I'm interested to see. I mean, look, I've got to laugh about this because people are saying Voldemort's back and anything negative because Phil Jones is in there. It does worry me somewhat that there is a famous line, I forget what it was, something to do with pink something, with Phil Jones and me. And look, I'm sure I'm not on his Christmas card list, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't trust him with a Christmas card. It'd probably be a fire hazard. But reality is, he is back playing today. I like this Manchester United side that Ollie's been picking. I like Brandon Williams, I like Wan-Bissaka, I like Maguire, I like Lindelof, De Gea, Fred, McTominay. For the first time in a long time, you haven't got a Fellaini or a Matic in there that you just... But Phil Jones being back in there today... To be honest, I don't dislike Phil Jones like I disliked Fellaini and Matic as footballers. I just think Phil Jones does try a little bit like a newborn foal that can't run properly. But he does try his best. But he can be an accident waiting to happen. And that, I must admit, I really hope Phil Jones has a good game today, because I don't want to be dropping points because of things. It just scares me. I know I don't know. I was going to ask. Basically, I'm going to ask you what you think about the three centre backs. I don't like it. I don't think we've played well with it, and I just think if we were to lose points today because of a Phil Jones mistake, you don't leave yourself any leeway, because people will say, quite rightly, he's been doing this for years, and that just worries me. He's the weak link for me today. I hope he has a stellar game. I
don't think he's playing centre back. I think he's playing CDM.
Well, that's what I said. Yeah.
We've only got Fred and Pereira in midfield, and those two are not, even if you had Williams and Wan-Bissaka running down past them, that midfield is not enough to feed through to the front three.
Yeah.
Jones is actually all right on the ball. I genuinely think he's going to be playing CDM, which is sort of where Sir Alex said when he came in at 19 he could develop into. So I don't think we're going to play three at the back. I genuinely think Jones is there to play CDM because we haven't got McTominay and we haven't got Matic. and we need a CDM. So Jones is the only ball-playing centre-back, really, apart from Maguire, but you're not going to put Maguire there, who can fill in that role. So I wouldn't worry too much about Jones being at centre-back because I just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I hope, and to be honest with you, if Ollie does do that and we don't play the 3-5-2, I'll be very happy about that. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. We've got nearly 15,000 watching before kickoff, which is amazing. The United Stand, obviously, biggest Manchester United fan channel on YouTube. Lots and lots planned. Me and Drawty have got quite a big thing coming up in the new year, and it's nothing to do with Grindr. It's to do with the United Stand, and you lot will be benefiting absolutely loads from it from January the 1st. That's all we can say, but it's massive and we're really excited about it. But please do subscribe to the channel. We've got a call in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as per usual. Live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams, match reactions, previews, transfer news, everything here that you need with real fan opinion. Look, the club might not like what we say, but we're not affiliated to the club. We're an unofficial Manchester United fan channel, and we have the best interests of Manchester United at heart, like I'm sure all you do. So we say what we bloody well like. If we think Matic is a bag of shit, we say it. Because I don't want to interview Matic. I want to interview you lot, because it's about fan opinion. So get subscribing, bottom right-hand corner, and please do share the video in relation to that. I haven't even asked you. I will be here. I'm just going to be 30 seconds off screen, because I've just realised I just saw a lady with quite low cleavage on my TV. And I was like, Sky Sports has really ramped it up. For the Sheffield United game, and then I've just back on again. I think the telly's been left on ITV2 or something, because it's not on the football, so I've just got to pop into the next room and change it. But give us your thoughts on the game today and how you think it's going to go, and I'll be back in about 30 seconds.
Well, hello everyone, me back again after the terrible watch along in the summer, but today, okay, so like I said, Phil Jones probably going to play at central defensive midfield. So hopefully, guys, we're not going to see a calamity from Phil, because that would be pretty bad. But honestly, let's look at your comments pretty quickly. So, guys, put in your score predictions below. I'm going for 1-0 to United. I just think it's going to happen. But everyone else, say what you think is going to happen. Although I guarantee someone's going to say 10-0, because it always happens. Few of you, GT90 Ballers, 2-1 to Sheffield United. Someone says Babe Station. Well done. 2-0, lots of 2-0s. Jones is a sweeper. We wish Pider. Martial will play as number 10. Tanjiro. 0-0 ball draw from PK Joe. 3-1. Yeah, there's a couple of 10-0s in there. 69-0. 69 is a nice number, but especially if you're on Grindr. Okay. And we got a super chat from Bayin1. I'm from Nigeria. I live in the US, watching your show from Lisbon. You are based in the UK. Please tell Ollie Brexit FC will not work. Interesting point. I think this is going back to how many British players United are currently linked with or signing. Jadon Sancho, obviously. Gareth Bale as well. Guys, do you feel United are signing too many English players at the moment, or British, Scottish, whatever? Another super chat from Sam Ameson. I'm quite excited for this game. If Rashford gets back on form, James gets some confidence, and Martial puts in a shift, we can win this game. Arsenal have dropped points. We need to grab this game by the scruff of the neck. Sam, I couldn't agree more. I think this is the kind of game we want to go in for and definitely get that W, because at the end of the day, fifth, I know there's a few people saying, United should be aiming high. Yes, but right now, we definitely need to get to the top of the league. Robert Moore with a super chat. Why are we playing 5 at the back again? Robert, we're not sure if we are. We probably think Jones is going to play CDM, so hopefully it's only 4 at the back. But I do believe Mark is back with us. So how's it going?
I am. Let me just check. Have you done the I'm from Nigeria one?
Yep, I've done all of the ones so far.
Okay, and Sam is excited for this game. Rashford, he's talking about Rashford and James, and I think that's something that, coming into this international break, I said, and I stand by it as well. I think Rashford, James and Martial are a problem for anybody, and we should really embrace that. We do have a front three that is in form and scares people and is very, very fast. So that's our strength. I know in the midfield we're weak, and look, if we were to lose to get the game today, because the midfield is where games are won and lost, we knew that in the summer. We knew that the minute the transfer window closed, that all season we were going to be moaning about the midfield. So that's not a surprise. But if we can get the ball to those front three in space, but I tell you what, I never thought I would be so excited about Sheffield United versus Manchester United. And I've got to give plaudits to Sheffield United that they a little bit like Brighton, but on another level, because I think people were unrealistic about Brighton. Oh, Brighton are a good team, they're going to play off the park at Old Trafford, and they were absolute shite. But Sheffield United have actually got good results. I mean, they were in one of Pochettino's last games, they basically were robbed by VAR from winning at their place as well. And Pochettino is a good tactical coach, and he couldn't break them down. Teams are struggling to break this system down, Draughty. Pricey says Maguire is out of line on your formation. Yeah, that's because he's going to push forward a little bit. Or it's because I've put him out of line, but believe what you want to believe. It'll be so interesting to see what the actual formation is and whether Jones does play at CDM, says Wrecking Wenchers. Strutson says Ollie's actually knighted for his UDFHF work in Norway. Should it be Sir Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? No, because he's in the UK. And the Bucket Buttnut fan says, why can't Gomez get a run out? Drop Fred into the CDM and play Gomez ahead of him. Is he injured or something? Yes, he is, or something. He is injured. He is actually injured. So, you think we will buy a midfielder this January, Mark? Says Ivan Boomer. Yes, well, I'll ask you about that, Draughty, for a moment, because I did a video yesterday, which hopefully a lot of you've watched, and I was talking about two midfielders that, and you're very good at this. I mentioned Zakaria and Grilsch, both from Germany. We won't sign either of them, but I actually think they would be exciting European signings for our midfield. Do you think we will sign a midfielder, and you've got anyone in mind that we might be looking at?
To be honest with you, I'd rather have Kai Havertz.
He'll be off to Bayern, though, I think.
Yeah, this is a problem with the Germans. They, well, especially over in that league, Bayern Munich tend to buy all the talent, but he is one that I would have had high up on my list. You know, there's a few people, I mean, there's a lot of people screaming for Maddison. Maddison's a very good player. He's a very good player, but he's very attack-minded. And right now, I think we just need a creative midfielder.
He won't leave now anyway, will he? He won't leave in January.
No, especially in January, you know, with everything going on, and, you know, you've got other players that are going to be cut-tied in certain competitions. So Sir Alex was right. There's no value in the January market. So I don't think we're going to sign anyone in January per se. If we are, it's probably going to be, unfortunately, something like a Mandzukic, or, you know, there's even talk of Bale coming in. I know they're not midfield options, but I think that's just to help the attack out. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't take Bale even now. I know he's brilliant on his day, but it just screams of Alexis Sanchez all over again. So in terms of midfielders, I think right now, where's Angel Gomez anyway?
He's injured. He is injured. They won't release what the injury is, but he definitely is injured.
The only thing is, do you think Pogba's going to get back before January? Because, again, they're sketchy on his injury, and I'm just... Either it's one of those horrible niggly ones, which is taking a very, very, very long time to heal, or they're just not telling us something.
I mean, look, I like Pogba, and I hate it tweeting about Pogba, because the minute you do it, somebody will spin in on the negative and call you a Pogba hater, and I just think, don't follow me or tweet at me if you don't actually fucking know me, because I've always defended Pogba. He is inconsistent. I agreed with him wanting to leave, because I think the relationship has just not worked out at United. And all I said is, I disagree with these people saying, oh, man says because he's playing basketball, man should be playing in the Premier League. And that's not what fans were saying. Fans were saying, if you're playing basketball, why are you not tentatively training for United? Because, of course, playing basketball, shooting a few hoops, doesn't mean that you can play Premier League football. Of course it doesn't. But if you are playing basketball, and anyone's played basketball, it actually does put quite a lot of impact on your ankles. So if he can do that, why is he not back at Carrington starting the process of getting back in? And he's not. So, but I think Pogba will play again. I think he will play before January, and I don't think he'll leave till the summer. I'm 99% sure that's what's going to happen. I think the conspiracy theory is that he'll never play for United again and he'll be gone in January would, for me, make Ed Woodward sackable, because Woodward decided to keep Pogba against his will in the summer. Why would it be worth forcing him to stay to sell him in January and he's hardly ever played? So,
but the thing is, if he keeps him on until next summer, does he not only have a year left on his contract next summer?
No, he's got 2 and the option of another year. So he's comfortably in contract.
That's fine then. In that case, yeah, it's a bit of a weird one from Woodward, but we don't know really what that guy does anymore. He just does whatever he thinks. So,
Josh Sutton, I'll just read these super chats before they disappear. He says 2-0 United. This is a huge opportunity for Fred to show his class without McSauce taking most of the ball. Interesting. Good point, Josh. And what if we made Ollie director of football and brought Pochettino and his manager? Thoughts, says the Bucknut fan. A lot of people talk about this. What's your theory on that, Draughty? Because I have quite a strong one, which I'm sure people will remember. But do you think there would be any weight in giving Ollie the director of football job and giving Poch the manager's job? Do you think that's an idea that we should be floating around?
how would that work though? Because you'd then have an ex-manager basically tying in with the current manager, and Ollie doesn't want to give up the job. You know, for him is his dream ticket. He loves the club. He wants to be United manager. Why would he want to give that up and go to director of football to have someone else below him being manager? He'll always want to put his toe in. That's a relationship that can never work. I think if there's going to be a director of football, it can't be Ollie. It'd have to be someone entirely different. I don't think you can have effectively sacking a manager and then keeping him in the club, because it's a bizarre situation. No, I can't see that happening.
Naigan says, Mark, do you think the board will sell Pogba in January and only replace him in June if they replace? Well, I think we've just about touched on that, but I think you raise a good point. Selling Pogba doesn't necessarily mean we're going to replace him. We didn't replace Fellaini or Herrera, so I would hold that thought. I think people think, we'll sell Pogba and we'll spend all the money. I don't know why you would think that. I don't think that's how this club works. But on the Pochettino and Ollie thing, as I've said before, I don't know why this is being floated around. I think it's a bit fanciful, really, because why is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a good director of football? Because he bought 3 players that are doing well. Well, the club have even admitted they were working on Wan-Bissaka before Ole came in. Harry Maguire is a very obvious centre-back to buy when you've got £80 million. And Dan James was recommended by Ryan Giggs. So I haven't really seen enough to suggest that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would be a good director of football. Yes, the 3 players we bought have been good, but his involvement in those transfers were either obvious or minimal because they were going on before he was here. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfers will be better judged in January and in the summer because he'll have been here long enough for his ideas to be sort of known. And I think, in fairness to Ole and the club, and I'm not normally like this, why it went wrong in the summer around midfield is probably because Ole only got the job at the end of March. So, I've always said this, transfers take longer than a couple of clicks on Football Manager. You've got to have them sort of lined up, and I don't think they did. I think they wanted Longstaff, they couldn't get him, and I don't think they had many other irons in the fire other than Bruno Fernandes, which they pulled out of. I don't care what they said, they pulled out of that deal. I don't even know why.
Yeah, but won't Bruno Fernandes probably go to Spurs now?
I think you'll see Mourinho sign a couple of players that we've been linked to be honest, out of spite. That's what he does. He did it with Willian. Willian was going to Spurs, he got him at the last minute to Chelsea. Salah was going to Liverpool the first time, and the last minute he got him to Chelsea. So I think Mourinho will do that. What's up with Luke Shaw, says Gold Peace Prosperity, in general, or just where is he today? Because a lot of people would say there's a problem with Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw, Matic are back in training, but clearly not ready for the bench. Twan Sebi wasn't meant to be, but he is on the bench, and I think that's probably to do with necessity, really. Because we haven't got any other centre-backs that are fit. So we'll see. Please do subscribe to the channel, bottom right-hand corner. Remember, you can get your Christmas jumpers. I'm wearing the 5 Cantonars one. The link is in the video description for that. They are doing very well. I think there's going to be a lot of United fans this year all around the world wearing this classic United Stand Christmas jumper. You will be. I'm not going to say you'll pull men or women off it, but you'll certainly get a few good looks, I think, because it is. 5 Cantonars is the Christmas song of Manchester United. So there you go. The horrible replies to Luke Shaw there. I'm not a surprise. D Budge says Pogba didn't play contact basketball. I've shot hoops with a walking boot after an ankle break. Impact no bigger than running around Carrington. Agenda. You see, there you go. You've actually paid a contribution to go and do exactly what I've said on Twitter. You've jumped on something because you live up Pogba's arse, and that is not what anybody's saying. You have actually put in your statement exactly what people are saying. Nobody was saying that Pogba should be playing for United because he shot a few hoops. What people were saying, and I was saying, is if he's shooting a few hoops, he should be at Carrington training. But he's not. He's not training at Carrington. He's doing whatever he's doing. He's still recovering, as Ollie said. It's not healed. Ollie said on Friday, it's not healed. We'll have to look at it next week. He's shooting hoops. And what I was saying is, if you're shooting hoops or netball, whatever you're shooting, you're putting pressure on your ankle, and therefore you should be able to be doing treadmill work or the basics that you do when you start coming back. There is a little bit of weirdness around his injury. I agree with that. But I wouldn't go as far as to say he's not going to play for United again. He's going to be sold in January. I don't think that. I just think this injury is weird. And I will say that to anybody. It's not about... And how can it be an agenda when I actually like Pogba? And I've stuck up for him a lot. So it's not an agenda. It's an honest opinion on a situation that I find weird. There you go. We do need him back though, Trotty. I mean, to be honest, that midfield, we do need him back, and we are going to miss Scott McTominay, which I don't think he's had a mention, and he does deserve a mention. We will miss McTominay today.
I'm just hoping Phil Jones is going to have a blinder and CDM. Genuinely, I'm just hoping.
The new Duncan Edwards.
Steady on.
Sir Alex Ferguson said it. I'm not being. It is very disrespectful to Duncan Edwards, but Sir Alex Ferguson said it, and maybe.
Yeah, he did.
The trouble with Phil Jones is. And I'll always be consistent. Maybe he will have a great game today, but I'd still sell him tomorrow because he will get injured. This is the thing about Phil Jones. You can never get excited about Phil Jones because he will get injured.
But here we're talking about injuries. Luke Shaw and Eric Bailly.
Yeah.
Because both of them, their injury records are atrocious. I really, really like Bailly. I think he's a bloody good defender, but he's always injured. And I think he's one injury away from being sold. And I think Luke's Man United career is in serious jeopardy with Brandon Williams coming into the fold, because if he doesn't get back into form or fitness, then he's going to be gone as well. So I think at the moment, left back and centre back positions, especially with Phil Jones and Eric Bailly, we need another one. So there's something going on with our medical staff, or we just have really injury prone players. It's I just wish Bailly would come back, but I don't think he's ever going to be able to handle more than a couple of games before getting injured. Exactly the same as Phil Jones.
Dio1919 says, I've just ordered my 5 Cantonage jumper. Let's get the win. Cheers, pal. You can get yours. The link's in the video description. Ashley GR says, I have Martial, Rashford and James in my fantasy football team. How many points do you reckon they'll get today? I'll be surprised if they all scored, but if they do, we're going to have a very happy afternoon. I fancy Martial to get a goal. And Mark, who let's have more faith in the sexy jumper. Let's go to a nightclub with the 5 Cantonage jumper on and pull a couple of ravers, as long as it's not a couple of geezers. Very good. Only Fools and Horses reference there, Humi. You will do well to do that sort of thing on this channel. And Mark, the board thinks quantity is quality. Matic, Fred, McTominay, Andreas and Pogba eyeing 2 spots. So they think we don't need midfielders anymore. Brainless board. And I think you're right there, Nagaigan. I think that the problem is that there are players there that are not good enough for Manchester United. But I do, and Munaj says, I love Eric Bailly. I don't think he deserves to be let go before Phil Jones. I think everybody likes Eric Bailly. I think that's what you were saying, Drawty, to be fair. But I've said this before. The season before we bought him, he had 3 separate injuries. He's a bad buy. Liverpool wouldn't do that. Man City wouldn't do that. We seem to think buying players we buy injured players. We buy in players with injury records and go, oh, it's just a phase they're going through. Dalot, we bought injured, and he's always injured. Bailly's always injured. Like the warning signs were there. Neither of these are Ollie's fault, by the way. This is talking about the board and the fitness side of things. But Jenks says, I hope Ollie is chewing gum again. I didn't know he was. That's a little bit sad, actually, if he's doing that. And I think you triggered Rory yesterday when you said City will wipe the floor with Chelsea, but Rory seems like a nice bloke in honesty, says Red Baron. Yeah, Rory, the Chelsea fan. It's always good fun watching a fan of another club. It's always good watching a game with somebody who actually supports one of the teams and you don't, because you just enjoy winding them up. That's how it works. But we, obviously today, this matters. What was your score prediction, Drawty? Because I was messing around with the TV.
1-0 to United. We're not going to score more than 1 just because Sheffield's defence seems to be pretty rock steady this season, and we're not exactly amazing in front of goal right now. I know we picked up a bit recently, but I just think a 1-0. A 1-0 will do me, and then that takes us into the Villa game.
It's very interesting. Remember, we are sponsored by the OneFootball app for the watch along today. You can get it, link in the video description. It's the top line. It's free on Apple and Android. We'll be using it for stats and news throughout the game. It's really good. You can get all your latest United news or whatever club you follow. Just follow your club on the app and it will give you stories throughout the week. It's very good for match day stuff. You can predict the winner, and in the second half you can start voting for your man of the match, which is good. Do download that. But what I did want to bring in, and we are 10 minutes away from kickoff, I was looking at some of the stats on the screen there. I think United are going to win as well. I'm going to go United to win 2-1. But interestingly about Sheffield United, despite how good they are, I think a lot of people were saying this in the week, Drawty, as well, that, and everyone at home, that the first goal is key. If United concede first, they tend to struggle. If we score first, I think the way Sheffield United play, Sheffield United, I think, in the league have got they're second in the league for like clean sheets, etc. They don't concede many goals, but for shots on goal, they're 20th. So that shows you a team that isn't going to win this 3 or 4-0. If they're going to win, they're going to win it 1-0, aren't they? They're going to win it 1-0 or 2-1. So from United's point of view, if we score 1 or 2 goals in this game, I think we either win it or we get a draw. So Sheffield United really are a very good defensive side, but they don't score that many. And I don't think that's because they're a part of the bus side. I don't think that at all. I just don't think they actually have... if I asked you all to name 5 Sheffield United players, without doing your research, you haven't got a bloody chance. So I think they lack quality. That cutting edge in the final third, but what they lack in quality, they make up in their tactical ability and their work rate. So first goal is absolutely key in this game, I think.
Yeah, and I think if we manage to score more than 2, then it's a fantastic result. So you never know, but equally, I think Sheffield, you say they haven't scored many goals. Just to play devil's advocate, if they somehow manage to score 2 or 3, then there's got to be some serious questions because they haven't managed that all season.
Yeah.
But I can't see that scenario happening. So I think it's going to be a tight game. I think both teams know exactly what's at stake at the moment, which is just 5th place. But at the end of the day, 5th place for Sheffield United is incredible. So, for both teams, I think this is a big game. This is huge for both teams right now.
It is. It really, really is. Steph Chadwick says, "Hi guys, I don't think we're going to spend any money in January, but we should be getting a Partey or a Zakaria, especially if we're getting rid of Matic." I would love to get either of those. I would love to, but I guarantee you we won't. And B. Yakov says, "Recruitment is so poor at United. Jones, Bailly, Rojo, Martial, Shaw are all injury-prone players at the point, regardless of how good football they are." Well, I don't think Luke Shaw was. Luke Shaw is injury-prone for a very good reason, and it happened at Manchester United. A very bad reason, actually. I do like Luke Shaw, and I get a lot of stick for it, but I do like Luke Shaw. And he had a horrific injury, and unfortunately, anybody who knows anything about injuries, especially bad ones, and I know it wasn't his knee, but if you do your cruciate ligament in your left knee, you're probably highly likely to do something to your right knee later on because it overcompensates, and you will pick up groin strains, muscle strains as well, because when you have major surgery on a major injury, you can return, but it will never be as strong as it was before. Any physio or doctor will tell you that. Therefore, your rest of your body overcompensates. So Luke Shaw will probably always be injury prone because of that bad injury that he had.
Well, I mean, talking from experience, because I broke my ankle in 2 places going back 8 years ago, and I did my ligaments at the same time in my right leg. The left one has suffered because of it. So there's nothing wrong with my left, but it's overcompensated, like you said. So I've never been the same, and I've never been able to run properly since. So that pretty much put paid to my football playing days. But it's a hard injury to come back from, and for Luke, psychologically, his was horrific.
Yeah,
really bad.
Although Roy Keane said it was a fair tackle, which it bloody well wasn't. But there you go.
It's one of those things where psychologically for him, we all saw the pictures back when it happened. It was horrific. And the surgery photos after, it was a major, major thing. And for someone so young and at the start of their career when he was flying, it's going to affect you. I don't blame him. Some people go, Aaron Ramsey came back from a bad injury. We've had other players who've had horrific leg breaks and they've come back. Gomez from Everton, we all wish he has a speedy recovery as well. It's just, it all depends on the player and the situation and the recovery, and maybe Luke is never going to get back up to that 100%. And unfortunately, in football, you have to be, because if you don't get to that level, you never quite make it. So I don't know. I don't know where his career lands right now, but I hope he can get back even faster than he was before, in terms of his play style. But he's just never been the same, has he?
No. Nagan says, "Why do you dislike Matic so much? Your point was that he's too slow, but if we have him, we can push Fred and Pogba further up as he is good cover." I just dislike the player. I never wanted him. Like I I don't want to be called brave. It's just an opinion. But the day he signed, I said I didn't want him, and I got a lot of stick. I never wanted him. He's too slow. He's static. He takes more touches than any player on the pitch. He'll have 5 when one will do, and then he'll pass it sideways. I just don't like that sort of player. C. Donald says Hargreaves on Dazn surprised Jones is playing. Schmeichel couldn't contain a laugh. And Dave Tapgun says, I feel sorry for Shaw. You don't feel it physically, but mentally as well, and people still made fun of him for looking fat, says Dave. I've never done it. I don't think it's very nice, but you know what? It's all about opinion, isn't it, at the end of the day? Anyway, Drawty, I will let you get off. Very much appreciated you coming on. That's flown by. Really good chat, and enjoy the game.
Will do. Although I will be working on air quotes Project Spider, as we sort of call it. Well, I've called it that. So we're looking forward to that one. Hopefully, we see something tomorrow.
And he'll probably be on Twitter, and you can follow him at the Drawty Devil if you want to. Thanks for coming on, pal. I'll speak to you in a bit.
Speak to you in a bit. Have a good one.
Cheers,
Bye.
mate. So we are only a few minutes away from kickoff, which is exciting, isn't it? It's exciting to have it back. We're going to see how the team lines up. Phil Jones is in the team. I'm going to go with a United win. I think I went 2-1 in the preview, so I'm going to stick with that. I've been very confident about United winning this game. I have been confident in the past and it's gone wrong, Newcastle and Bournemouth. But I did say way before, we won't lose to Liverpool and we won't lose to Arsenal, and we didn't. So I am confident. Please do download the OneFootball app. They're sponsoring the watch along for us today. Thank you to them. The link is in the video description. It's on Apple and it's on Android. You'll have all your stats throughout the game there, all your latest news as well throughout the week if you follow Manchester United as your club. 77% of people on the OneFootball app says United are going to win. Give it a download, link in the video description, Apple and Android, and free. It's okay, Mark, it's all perspectives anyway, says Nyagan. And Steph Chadwick says we should wrap Luke Shaw in cotton wool and go and get Max Aarons from Norwich, then use Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Williams, Aarons and Delo. Never going to be the same. Well, look, we haven't really spoken about it enough, but I'm very happy that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone with Brandon Williams today. He totally deserves to start. I was concerned that he would bring Ashley Young back into the team because Ashley Young played in the last game. Harry Maguire captain as well against the club that he used to play for. So there are positives. I feel positive, and I think the most important thing is Manchester United have to embrace that positivity today. You know, I'm happy to be positive because I think United are going to go and win. If they don't go and win today, then the opportunity to move into 5th place and actually start building, because we hear about the future, we hear about give us time. Well, now is the time. It's Sheffield United away from home. We win and we go 5th. Like, that's something that a month ago we would have laughed at. Oh, we're never going to get back to 5th. We're going to be mid-table forever. So for whatever reason, I don't think the league below the top 4 is very good, but that's not our fault. Let's take advantage of that. Let's get into 5th. That's what today is all about. Sheffield United have such a unique style, certainly when it comes to the central defenders splitting and pushing up like the wing backs and coming out with the ball. We need to be on point in the midfield battle. I know, I'm very excited to see Sheffield United. I was talking about this in the preview, their unique way of overlapping centre-backs, and they really do swamp whatever side they go through. But no team's really figured out how to deal with Sheffield United yet, and United need to do it. So the first thing we're going to see, and the kickoff is only about 4 minutes away, the first thing we're going to see today is how United line up. As you can see with the lineup on the left, that is the 11, but we've got no real idea how they're going to do it. Some people, Drawty included, says that he thinks Phil Jones will step forward into the CDM role and will play a 4-2-3-1. We'll see. 4-2-3-1, that's wrong. Yeah, 4-2-3-1 is right, actually, isn't it? But it could be the 5 at the back. So Sheffield United will be up for this. Phil Jagielka's playing for Sheffield United, which is odd because he never normally plays. So they must have... I mean, that's a blow for Sheffield United, Jagielka playing. He doesn't normally play, so he's old and slow. So that's good for United against the speed that we've got. So I don't know enough about Sheffield United's team really, but that must be a bit of a blow for them that Jagielka is playing. Nyogan says, I think we will lose today's midfield battle as we only have 2 against their 3. Perhaps James or Rashford have to drop in to make up the 3. And I hope we keep the same formation. Pereira keeps playing behind Martial, playing him as a centre defensive midfielder, makes him fairly ineffective, says Josh Sutton. A couple of years ago, I felt that Pereira did have the ability to play as a more holding midfielder, but Jagielka playing in the centre of the defence next to with O'Connell and Basham. Then I don't think he normally plays, but there we go. We'll see how it goes. Lindelof could be CDM, says somebody there. Isaac Calder says, what do you think about Ronaldo rumours? What I've thought about Ronaldo rumours for the last 10 years, that I just don't think that I don't think anything will happen with it, to be honest with you. Should have played Mata, says Nicole Rogers. I suppose the problem with Mata is that it's going to be I think Mata has found his place where he's more suitable to away home games now, and we also know he can only play an hour. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're trying to get up to 483,000 subscribers today. We're currently on 482,500, so we're 500 away. Please share the link. The link is below if you are already subscribed. If you're not, bottom right hand corner, please do click the subscribe button. You won't regret it. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got fan cams, match reactions. We've got a call in tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We've got previews, transfer news, breaking news, everything on this channel. So get involved with it and have your say. It's all about that. Thank you for the contribution from Demarino Marino. I love that name. And we are getting very, very close to kickoff right now. Right now. Corey likes the lineup. He says it's a good lineup. My score prediction, Mahan, was Manchester United to win 2-1. And I'm going to stick with that. Mark in, Ollie out, says Gwilym Garrigan. I'm too busy over Christmas. I've got too much shopping to do. I haven't put the tree up yet, and I like just to chill out. So I wouldn't take the job off Ollie yet anyway. But we're all having a laugh, aren't we? We're all having a laugh. And if you want to get your 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper, it is now available. The link is in the video description for it. A lot of people are getting them. They're available worldwide. Obviously get in there sooner rather than later because of delivery times. But 5 Cantonars, it's the song of the terraced with United fans throughout the Christmas period. And we've got our own 5 Cantonars Christmas jumper. You can wear it on Christmas Day. You can wear it throughout Christmas. You can wear it to your Christmas party. I think there is an official Christmas jumper day as well. So get classy. Forget Santa. Have something with a bit of Cantonar on it. But we're about to kick off here. The timer should start. We're going to start. Let's sit back and see how well Sheffield United are going to play. And that's not a good start because... Where's the timer? Oh, yeah, that's right. Timer was underneath. So United are on the ball at the moment, and we're definitely playing... just trying to see. It looks like we are playing as it is on the screen to my left. There was a pinged ball by... I thought it was Lindelof playing in the midfield there, but it looks like it's Pereira. Let's effing have it, says Sickle Me. Yeah, we're playing a back. We're playing as my formation on the screen there. We are playing with 3 at the back, and Pereira and Fred in the 2 with 3 up front. So we're trying to adapt to this formation that Sheffield United have. So yeah, let's see how it goes, everybody. I'm intrigued to see how this match goes today. Really, really am. Will Dean Henderson be our future keeper, says Morgan Lamb. I don't know. 6-2, mark my words, says Tom Keane. I tell you what, that's the sort of result that would really give United a boost. Sheffield United defensively very good. If we were to turn up to their place and absolutely smash them, that would be a major statement. And I think that's what I'm looking for from United over the next few today and into the future as well. And be massively important if we could do that. But how this game goes, Sheffield United are the great unknown. I think we all know that Sheffield United deserve to be where they are. And, we're not underestimating them, but have any of us really watched them this season? I'm sure some of you have. I'm going to be honest and say I really haven't. So I'm intrigued to see how this is going to go today. and looking forward to it. Great contribution on the True Geordie yesterday, says Patrick Topane. Thank you very much. Did enjoy it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're new. But Sheffield United starting with a player down injured at the moment, and I think they'll have to knock that ball out because he is looking hurt. But no, they're not going to knock it out. And I'm surprised they've not knocked it out because it's their bloody player. And they've worked themselves a corner from it, really, which I thought was a little bit cheeky there because they've got a player down injured. I think you'd expect them to knock it out. And Fred's gone right down the back of his ankle there, Muzay. And it would bloody hurt, that would hurt. Abdul's just subscribed. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. Remember to download the OneFootball app. They are sponsoring us today. Free app, very good app on Android and on Apple. It's a corner for Sheffield United. They've overhit that, and that'll go out for a goal kick. So we've established in these first few minutes that Manchester United are playing the three at the back with Jones, Maguire and Lindelof. Wing backs of Wan-Bissaka and Williams, and Fred and Pereira holding midfielders with three up front. So it's a new formation. I think when we've played the 3-5-2 or the 5-3-2, there's always been three in the middle, and today we're not playing three in the middle, we're playing two. So it's a little bit of a different thing to that. But Sheffield United, intrigued. I'm intrigued by this game. United just rolling it back to Maguire there. Heckle and Slide says, how's it going, Mark? Hope all is well. Raising a cup of coffee to you, stateside. Go United. Thanks, pal. I'm in a lot of pain today, actually. Talking about injuries. United are on the break here with Dan James. Oh, yes. No, yes. I'm going to have to do quite a lot of stretching today, to be honest with you, because I hurt my back. I played five-a-side last Monday night with put it out on email. I put it out on Twitter, actually, if people wanted to come. If anybody does live in the Midlands area and you want to play five-a-side tomorrow between 9 and 10 at night, unitedstandorders@gmail.com, drop us an email. We played last week, and in the first couple of minutes, I turned to look for the ball and pulled a muscle in my neck. And as the week's gone on, I've now pulled a muscle there because it's, as I said, it's a secondary injury, isn't it? Your body compensates for that injury and ends up straining that one. How are your ears, Mark, after sitting next to Hugh Wizzy for 2 hours? You could never play Chinese whispers with him, could you, says Who Me. I thought he was quite good yesterday. I know what you mean, though. Sometimes he does go off on one, and Arsenal had just lost a game. But Rashford's just hurt himself a little bit here. But 5 minutes gone already. Quite a quick start. Nobody's really on top yet. Sheffield United definitely can be got at here. If Wan-Bissaka looks at that ball, and Martial a little bit sloppy there, looking for Dan James. I think United's front three is clever against the way Sheffield United are playing, because I think it's so important that we play that front three today, because I think Sheffield United, there will be space to get at them. Hi Mark, cheers from Haiti. Love your work, says Bradford Jean. Thank you, Bradford. Thank you very, very much. And everyone's on the right wing at the moment, says Brandon Mappy. Hey Mark, what do you think the score will be today, says Aidan Brown? I think 2-1 United. And you know, the central defender for Sheffield United in their back three is Jagielka. I mean, he's slower than your gran, and your gran might be dead. So, you know, Martial has really, if we can get our front three against their back three, we've got the pace to really hurt them. But 5 minutes gone. Are we playing a high press, says Charles Banter? Oh, I never know what United's high press is all about, really. How can you play a high press when you've got a back five? Nice little switch of the play by Rashford there to Wan-Bissaka, but Sheffield United are now back in position. And this is something we're going to have to learn to deal with this season, is dealing with teams who get back into position very, very quickly. We've seen us struggle against it with Newcastle and West Ham, and Sheffield United, if we let them get back into position, all right, we're working the ball now, but can we learn to open teams up who get people back into position? And Fred there, looking for a ball into Martial. It's a little bit sloppy. And throw into Sheffield United on the halfway line. We'd be lucky to win, says Elemen. I think it's been a decent start for United. A decent start. Come on the blade, says Lewis Meredith. Bramall Lane, Sheffield United, isn't it? Unless they've moved. That was what it was always called, as far as I remember. If we win, we're above Emery and his bad evening last night. So that's the incentive for United. Lindelof heading it away there. And Andres Pereira, big responsibility for him today to run that midfield with Fred. And I think he's got it in him to do it. I think he's got the tenacity. He's got the ball distribution. Has he got the concentration? Because we're going to miss McTominay today. Here's Jones, left-sided centre-back, playing in a back three. I mean, that's unlucky for Brandon Williams, isn't it? You don't want to be playing with bloody Phil Jones, but he's done well there, and he's took a foul as well. Oh no, we'll play on. Harry Maguire's coming forward. Rashford. Now, here we go. Rashford's got a chance here. Tackled. Didn't get past his man. And Rashford is limping a little bit early doors, which I'm sure he'll be all right, because Rashford's made of hard stuff, but I don't know whether he's took a knock a little bit early on. Mata's on the bench. The bench is Lingard, Mata, Twansebi, Ashley Young, Greenwood, Garner and Grant. So apart from probably Greenwood, there's not really a lot of excitement on that bench, is there? But 8 minutes gone here. Don't know a lot about Sheffield United. I'm going to be absolutely honest. So, but this is United's chance. Then Rashford's running freely now, so that's all right. Does Dan James has the potential to be world class? Says Will Lloyd Jones. I mean, that's a bad ball by Sheffield United there. Rashford's looking all right. To people who are saying how's he looking. With regards to Rashford, I think that not Rashford. With regards to Dan James. This is a lad we bought from Sheffield United, not from Sheffield, from Swansea, for how much? 15 million? And we're already in November saying, can he be world class? I'll just be happy if he just keeps improving. I think what a signing he's been. And yeah, I do think he's got the potential to be better than he is at the moment. And already he's doing very well. But I just don't put any pressure onto the lad. I think he'll be what he will be. But as long as he's not a flop, that's the main thing, isn't it? Colin McAteer, I said 2-1 to United is my prediction, and I will stand by it. If you want to get your 5 Cantonars jumper, people are asking who are those people. It's Cantona, it's 5 Cantonars, it's a Christmas jumper. It's a little bit early, but I'm wearing it a little bit early because if people want to order one, the link is in the video description. You might live in America or India, and you will get it before Christmas if you order it, which is why I'm wearing it a little bit earlier than Christmas, so that people can get it for Christmas. Link in the video description if you want to get hold of one. Fair point, says Will Lloyd Jones. I've forgotten what it was already. 10 minutes gone. Let's have a quick look at the stats in the first 10 minutes. We are sponsored by the OneFootball app today, so please do download it. It's free. It's on Apple. It's on Android. The link is in the video description. Statistics in this game so far. Can I get them? Matches. Manchester United, Sheffield United, yes. Good shot there from Sheffield United. Look up, Goldbridge, not down. Whoa, what a save by De Gea. What a save by De Gea. My life, it should be 1-0 to Sheffield United. I didn't see the first chance. It must have been a shot from distance, but then a cross came in. He's level with the 6-yard box, and he heads it. And De Gea, the first one's a volley. That's a good save from De Gea. But the follow-up cross, he's got to score. And De Gea makes an absolutely world-class save. Absolutely world-class. No questions about it. Don't even deliberate it. That's what you pay money for. Absolutely superb save by De Gea. Magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. Nothing more to say. Absolutely save of the season for De Gea. Maybe one of the save of the season so far. The Sheffield United player, it's one of those whereas the striker, if your striker's missed that, you're like, how have you missed that? And I understand that totally. But United carved open really there with that chance. But De Gea keeps us in it. Are we going to have one of those days? Well, White Owl says, have you addressed Ollie playing 5 at the back against Sheffield? It was Jose. The fans would be all over him. He's playing not to lose, Mark. Well, you can see why. We should be 1-0 down. We should be 1-0 down. Absolutely fantastic save. And I suppose that's the saving grace, isn't it, with Sheffield United, is that they don't take their chances, because that should have been a goal. Awful. You know, how you can have 3 centre-backs and allow a free header in the box. I would say that. You've got to look, you've got to say, if you're playing 3 centre-backs, how is somebody getting a free header in the box? You've got to say that. Fitness and Scripts Sharath Kamath says, congratulations on the charity stream. Had a few drinks. I don't know what to expect today. Commentary on mute. Listening to you. Good evening, everybody in the chat. Williams is the closest one to him, but I don't think he's a right winger. So you can get it in Thailand, Z-Mark. Yeah, if you click the link in the video description, and you can order it, you will be able to get it. It's available worldwide as far as I'm aware. Am I Ollie out if we lose today, says Gypsy King? Oh, it's way too early to be thinking about that. Way too early to be thinking about that. Sheffield United, well, look, you know, Sheffield United should not be 1-0 up. That's why you've got one of the world's best goalkeepers to make saves like that. So I don't agree with that. But Maguire's in a bit of trouble here. No. Sheffield are playing very physically, so if United play it smart, they could win big. Let's see, says Nyagan. I think Sheffield United, good tackle by Phil Jones, and again. And then the foul. 2 really good, strong tackles from Phil Jones there. Give him a clap. Very, very good. We never look solid in defence, says Ryan F2W. Do we have any natural defenders in the coaching setup? Ollie's a striker. Carrick's a midfielder. Who has defensive experience? And whoa, you said that. Wolfie 35p says Man United 2-1, 20 quid at 15-2. I said 20. I said 2-1 to United as well. So, interesting start. United could have been 1-0 down. Free header in the box. De Gea with a world-class save. There was a good volley before that De Gea saved. United have done nothing in the first 14 minutes. We've not even had a shot on goal. Sheffield United, the more energetic side. Are United feeling their way in? Have they played a little bit defensively? I think United need to do more going forward, because Sheffield United have started the better team. However, Phil Jones has had a good start. And apart from that, not really any performance from United that stands out apart from De Gea. Akshay Sood says, Mark, don't you ever go to watch games at Old Trafford? I've never seen you live at Old Trafford. Thanks, Akshay. You're a troll. Please piss off. And Wesley Gomez says, while I know he just had a world-class save without a clean sheet since September, do you think we should look at starting Romero in more league games? No. God bloody hell no. No, like De Gea is still one of the best in the world. I repeat again, Mark, Maguire will struggle against nipple strikers in Europe, not being negative, honestly speaking. I think Maguire will be a better centre-back with a quicker player next to him. I.e., let's get Twansebi back. Good play by Phil Jones there. And I think he's given a foul there. No service for Martial already, says Vandy Candy. I don't know how that can be a foul on Phil Jones, to be honest, because when you watch this back, the striker's running into the box and Phil Jones just does a dive. He'd get booked for that in the box. He's calamity. He's having a good game, Phil Jones, but this is what I mean. He's a calamity. Like, he goes down there with a dive. He's not even fouled. Just keep it up, Phil. Don't make any mistakes. He looks up for it though, Phil Jones, let's be honest. But United just very poor in the final third at the moment. We're losing the ball too much, says Lloyd Beardsley. I think Ziyech, somebody just said in the live comments, every time I watch United play, I think Ziyech would be great for United. How do you feel about Jones starting, says James Kang. Nervous, but there's loads of space here for Dan James. Absolutely loads of space. Cross comes in and he doesn't beat the first man. And Rashford, to be fair, had made his run there, which is something we're always very critical about. He was on his toes a bit there. Dan James just couldn't find the cross, but he found himself in a lot of space. And typical United, that, isn't it? You know, we've not started off very well. We suck a team in and then we hit them on the break. So, you know, Sheffield United might get a little bit more confident now. But Martial's just giving it away there. Rusty start from United's front three. One thing Phil Jones has is experience, his fitness and scripted Giraffe. Fred, little ball there. Little slip by Sheffield United, but it doesn't come of anything. And they're very accomplished on the ball, Sheffield United, aren't they? They don't mind passing it about. Has Phil Jones got his pink boots on? Says Jimbo74. He will never wear pink boots again. He will never wear pink boots again. I think we all know why. And sell Phil Jones now. We'll probably now get a better price for him. He started well, says Cal Rojo. He's probably been our best outfield player so far. I think even Brandon Williams has started off a little bit rusty, hasn't he? But here's Rashford. Poor touch. Oh. No, ref says play on. I thought that was a foul there on Fred. A lot of energy from people like Pereira. Oh my life. Pereira's going to get booked there, I think. No, he's not. It was a bit reckless from Pereira here. Oh, God, I tell you what. He's got to be careful there, Pereira. Fair play to the Sheffield United player for not making a meal of that, because that tackle, if he'd caught him, you're looking at a yellow card there. Maybe even a red. Ref's played on. Phil Jones. Saved by De Gea. Goal for Sheffield United. Piss off. Get stuffed. Bramall Lane. Bloody Bramble Lane. We're getting cut to shreds at the back there. Sponsored by Dettol. It stings. It's disgusting defending from Manchester United. It's been bloody welcoming. Musse just dropped Phil Jones like a little boy. He knocked him over on the ground. Phil Jones, he has got the balance of a newborn foal. He's all over the place. I thought he might have given a penalty away just before this, but he's in control of this ball over the top. He gets shoulder barred to the full. You know what, actually? Is that not a foul? Should that not go to VAR? To be fair to Phil Jones, is that not a foul? At what point do you say that that's not a foul? He's there, the shoulder bar... Wow. It's a shoulder barge, but you see them get given as a foul. Phil Jones has got to be stronger. I don't think we're going to get a VAR review, but Phil Jones, you're massive. You're massive. You've got big shoulders. Some would say you've got moves, but you can't get knocked over like that. I can't believe. You know what? Is that a foul? Probably not. He's got the run on the striker. He's not strong enough. And I said this before the game. Phil Jones has started off really well, but he's an accident waiting to happen. And he's just... If Phil Jones costs us a goal today or costs us a result, everybody's going to say, he's been doing it for 6 years. Why is he still at the club? And he's gone and done it. And I feel sorry for the lad. I feel sorry for him because he will try his best. Of course he will. But why are we still picking him? He makes mistakes. He costs us games. And he's just cost us a bloody game. It's just cost us a goal. I feel sorry for him. Is it? Well, it is his fault, but why is he still at the club? Because he's Jonah. He's got a bloody... You know what Jonah means? His nickname is Jonah, right? You know, I've heard Ollie call him Jonah. Do you know what a Jonah is? They're a bad luck charm on a ship. You ever watch Master and Commander with Russell Crowe? The Jonah ends up committing suicide because everyone thinks they're not getting any wind or rain because of him. It's a bad luck thing. Ollie even calls him Jonah. But... It's massively disappointing to concede a goal because of a mistake from a player that consistently makes mistakes. And I think that has got to be on Ollie and the coaching staff. I know we're a little bit short at the back, but we're playing 3 centre-backs, for God's sake. We're playing 3 centre-backs. And one of them's just cost us a goal. So already you're like, we've gone too defensive. We should be 2-0 down. I mean, that's the scary thing. We should be 2-0 down. They missed the bloody sitter. De Gea made a great save there again. He just couldn't stop the follow-up. Philip the Calamity Jones, says Don Island. And such weak defending. When will Ollie learn, says Matt Rush. I just don't see why he's picked him. Why have we gone 3 at the back? Why have we gone 5 defenders? Why have we gone 3 centre-backs? In this first 20 minutes... We've conceded a free header, which they should have scored, and De Gea made a world-class save. And then one of our centre-backs has been barged to the floor. Like, just play 2 centre-backs. Why? If you play 2 centre-backs, we're used to playing 2 centre-backs. And they've nearly scored again. They've nearly scored again from a cross. He knows it. When we play two centre-backs, the two centre-backs know what they're doing. We played three centre-backs. No one knows who they're picking up. One of the centre-backs has just bloody cost us a goal. Joel Morris says, Phil Jones is League One player at best. Jones isn't fit for the Premier League. I feel sorry for Phil Jones. Cross comes in. Get rid of it, Fred. I asked which Phil would win the game for the other side. I have my answer, says Sean Finity. I feel sorry for Phil Jones because the problem is, and anybody who was watching the hour before kickoff, I said the one player that makes me feel nervous is Phil Jones because he's made so many mistakes in the past, and I really hope he has a good game. And he actually started off quite well, but what has he done? He's done what he's done in the past. He's gone and cost us a bloody goal, and there's no get out for that, is there? Like, you know, if you keep doing the same mistakes as a coach or as a football club, how can you get sympathy when you keep doing the same thing? Like, we keep picking this player who makes mistakes. So when he makes a mistake in a game, what are we supposed to do? We're unlucky. No, we're stupid. We're bloody stupid because he makes mistakes. He might have 2 or 3 good games, but at some point he'll make a mistake. And he's made a calamitous mistake there. I was told when under fives in defence, if in doubt, get it out. Fred and Andreas are losing the ball all the time. Dazu W. Well, yeah, look, you know what? There's a bigger picture here. There is a bigger picture. That's an individual mistake, but we've done nothing in the final third in the first 25 minutes. Absolutely nothing. Sheffield are only targeting runs at Jones. They know he's bad, says Mark Whitten. Well, Chris Wilder's not stupid, is he? He's not stupid. And my next bloody killing. And my arse. I've got a pain in the arse. It's called Phil Jones. But Sheffield United are coming at us again here. They're absolutely all over United. Another shot straight at De Gea. 5 in defence. Should be 2-0 down at least. Awful, says Daniel Brindley. Where's my phone? Link in the video description. One Football app. Please do download it. It's on Apple, it's on Android, and they are sponsoring the show today. I wanted to go to the stats here. In the first half, Manchester United have had 59% possession to Sheffield United's 41% possession. But Sheffield United have had 4 shots on goal. All 4 have been on target. They're 1-0 up, and United haven't had a shot on goal on target yet. We've made more passes than them. But they've made more long passes. They are making more fouls than us. They are just absolutely bullying us at the moment. We've got more possession. We're doing nothing with it. Ridiculous. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we have got fan cams coming in after the game. I hate this formation as well, Ben. I hate 3 at the back. I don't like it. It was shit against Liverpool in the second half. It was the worst we've ever played in Partizan Belgrade, and it was crap against Chelsea. And yet we're doing it again, and we're creating next to nothing. Zayn Miasi, thanks for the contribution. The problem is the players are confused. They're confused. It's a new system. How stupid are we? We had a really good result against Brighton. How good were Brighton? God knows. But at least play the same bloody formation again. Play something that the players understand. What we've done is, we've had 2 weeks off. We've come back off the international break. Some of these players won't have hardly trained this week because they've been on internationals. And we've come up with some new system against a team that's in form and knows their system like the back of the hand, away from home. And they've absolutely annihilated it. On possession, they haven't annihilated us at all. But in relation to chances on goal, they've absolutely destroyed us. And United have just, I don't know. We've got to get our act together because this performance so far lacks everything. The only player coming out of this game with any credibility at the moment is David De Gea. And we've been there before. We had this for 4 years. Should have played Wan-Bissaka at centre-back and Young at right wing-back, says Ryan FTW. No, we shouldn't have. We just shouldn't have played 3 centre-backs. Alligator says death taxes Phil Jones blunders, the certainties of life. Can someone ask our Happy Clown manager why he chose him? What does he see in these players? Well, the saving grace here is that there's still plenty of time for United to turn it around. And hopefully Sheffield United will start to tire at some point. I don't know whether that's the case. Nigan says United need to play one touch play in their half, especially the front 3, then lure them in and grab the fouls and cards. Yeah, Sheffield United have been very, very physical. United, but they're passing the ball around a lot better than us. They move it a lot quicker than us, which is why we've had more possession than them. Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Cross coming in the box. Get it, Phil. Little bit scrappy. Get rid of it. Fred. Right, let's move it now. Oh, Dan James, sloppy there. Sheffield United get hold of it. 26 minutes gone. I'm just worried that this game could be over before it started here. Goal kick. Goal kick. Was Ollie in, but heading the other way? No passion, says Daniel Brindley. Well, there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time left in this game. But United need a right kick up the arse here. Awful. Why are we playing 3 at the back? Well, United are actually on the attack here for once. Can we actually get a shot on goal? That would be progress in a game where we've done nothing in half an hour. Absolutely no shots on goal. Can we get one in? Well, we're on the 28th. Just have a shot, Phil. Here's Phil Jones. But typically, again, Sheffield United are a team now that's got something to work with. They've got something to sit back on. So they will sit back. Brandon Williams. Get a shot off, Marcus. Oh, we've had a shot on goal. Martial, he did quite well there. He had 4 players close to him. The keeper had to make a save. It was a long way out. He's in the box, but he's very far wide in the box. And it's a routine save. But we've had a shot on the goal. Is Harry Maguire worth 80 million, says Soham Mahaj? I think Maguire is starting to become a little bit of a target, isn't he, for people? And I don't think he's the problem. I think Harry Maguire will be a lot better when he's got Twansebi next to him. I think the lack of pace next to Maguire does weaken him a little bit. But Sheffield United again here with their overlapping fullbacks. Another cross coming in. Another corner to Sheffield United. And Brandon Williams has hurt himself here. Hopefully it's just hit him in the face because he's down winded. I think he's winded. Yeah, it's hit him in the stomach, so he's just winded. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. Some would say this was coming. I didn't underestimate Sheffield United, but I expected better from United. You fall into this trap of momentum and we turned a corner, and we've not turned any bloody corner. We're stuck in reverse at the moment. Get Ollie out and bring Poch in now, says Donny himself. Well, this is the problem. These things are going to happen. There's a lot of time left in the game, and that's what I would say. There's a lot of time left in the game, and from this position, you'd probably take a draw and say it's a good result. So, there's still time. We're being outclassed here. Jones again is a liability, says the Gaming Shed. Firmly the second best club at the moment on this pitch, and there's only 2. Solskjaer is out of his depth, says Ollie Fairclough. It's too easy for Sheffield United at the moment. That's the problem. They're well organised, they're well drilled, they're working hard, they've got something to defend. Pereira is your favourite players. Can I ask how and why, says Keenan M. Dalton. He's not one of my favourite players, Pereira. For a long time, I thought Pereira had the potential to be really, really good. Then I was like, I think we should let him go. And then this season, I've seen little bits that I've thought, maybe. But, today, him and Fred, I think Fred's been very energetic today, and I think he'll be top of the stats for touches and that. But we miss McTominay, we miss Pogba, of course we do. And this is a failing of the club that, McTominay and Pogba are injured, and we've got nobody. And that's awful from Pereira there. He's just given the ball away. They're running at our back 4 now. Fred's going to win it back, I think. No, he's not. This is draining, mate, says Humi. I'm going to play some Football Manager 20 and listen to you. I await your shouting celebration for a goal. Outclassed and outplayed so far. Brandon Williams has done well there. But Sheffield United have still retained the ball. And they're going to whip across in here. Well out by Maguire. But where's the pressure on the man? He can have a shot here. Oh, bloody hell. We need to get into half time at either 1-0 down or back level. We let another goal in and the heads are going to drop. Where's the bloody leadership on this pitch? That's what I would say. Harry Maguire's captain. We only bought him in the summer. That's how bad the leadership is in Manchester United, that a signing has to be your captain after 3 months. Right. Rashford's offside. Great. I thought we had a break there. Give it time. Give it time. They've still got another 69 to play. Actually, I don't think we've even got that, have we? 59. 58 minutes to go. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm lost for words. Fan cams will be interesting as per usual. Can't do it. Good win by Harry Maguire there. Yeah, please do subscribe to the channel. Bottom right hand corner if you're new. You won't regret it. Lots of opinion. We've got a call in tomorrow night at 8. We've got fan cams after the game, match reaction. Loads going on, and which is unlike what's going on the pitch. It's been a very shit performance from United, hasn't it, so far? Disgraceful, I would say. Absolutely being outplayed. Michael Marstar says, this is Wilder's first season in the Prem with a squad that's not as good as ours, and we're still getting clearly outplayed. Ollie is out of his depth. It's just poor. It's tactically shit so far. He's got to change this. He is out of his depth at the moment, and he is struggling to deal with a team that's got no star players. I couldn't even play. I couldn't even play this game. And, well, what game am I trying to play? I can't get my bloody words out. I wouldn't even be able to name 5 Sheffield United players before I did the preview. And that's a cracking interception by Fred, because that was a lovely cross from Sheffield United. United are absolutely on the edge here. They're on the edge. And I don't think they're on the edge of glory. Who sang that? I'm on the edge of glory. I'm on the edge of glory. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to name 5 Sheffield United players. Do you think he'll switch the formation at half-time, says Charles Crane? I think what we're seeing today is exactly what we saw at Stamford Bridge, where we play 3 centre-backs, play absolutely tosh. He'll change it to the back 4, and then we'll play a lot better. And he should have done it from the start. This, you know what this is today, and this is the 4th time he's done it. It's 3 centre backs, and it doesn't work. It's trying to be tactically clever, and let's pretend Phil Jones doesn't make the mistake, because I think this is a really important point here. Let's pretend it's still 0-0. We're still being outclassed. We're still not playing well. So the Phil Jones losing the game is irrelevant in some ways, but let's look at it from a tactical point of view. Pretend it's 0-0. We're still being dominated. We've gone 1-0 down, and that's a big sign. When you go 1-0 down to a perceived lesser team, and we're still being absolutely dominated. You know, it's not like Sheffield United have suddenly got any worse. They're getting better. Now, this is where we can do some damage on the break. And he's overhit it, Dan James there. I mean, that's our best chance on the break, and Rashford will get done for the foul there. I'd love we could play like Sheffield United. Honestly, they know how to pass, says Red Baron. Adam Philby says, has Ollie even come to touch the line since the goal? What's even sadder is the bench we have to look to for help. 28D says, any manager worth their salt won't wait for half time to make changes of this horror show. I think you're spot on, mate. I think if Sheffield, I just want to get to half time, because, as I said, since Sheffield United have gone 1-0 in front, they've still retained to be the better team. How many times do you say it? Like I say, you go 1-0 down, and then the team that's gone 1-0 down, the game shifts as they try and get back into it. This game hasn't shifted. We've gone 1-0 down, and they're still the better team, which is absolutely clear that you're being absolutely tactically smashed. And he's doing nothing, absolutely nothing. All we're trying to do is hit them on the break. You can't keep doing this. It's not a tactic. Hitting a team on the break is not tactics. It's bloody league. It's National League tactics, and even they've got better tactics than that. I was down Solihull Moors for a month ago watching them. They don't play like that. It's not tactical to play on the break. It's bloody. It's amateur. Oh, let's soak the pressure up and hit them on the break. That's not a tactic. It's basically, we're shit. We're going to try and hope you don't score, and then when you put loads of people forward, we'll try and get a goal on the break. It's not tactics. It's not. It's basic. I see why people back Ollie. This is a masterclass, says Biggie Third. Thanks, mate. Thanks. We're feeling great. Andre the Not Giant says, no McSauce equals a loss. The midfield is woeful on passing and defending. A matter of how many we will concede wires. Well, the only thing I would say is Sheffield United don't normally score loads of goals. So hopefully they won't score loads of goals. But they've still retained the... And you know what? I had a blowout about Phil Jones. But let's move on from Phil Jones. Let's move on from Phil Jones. Because, as I said, he's made the mistake. But we've not done anything about it since. It's not like we've become the better team, is it? We're still crap. Here we go. We might have a break here. Dan James, I think he needed to put that cross in earlier. But we've got a corner. We've got a corner. Can we do anything from a corner? I don't know. Time to bring Poch in. When was the last time a newly promoted side dominated like we've been dominated so far? Says Victor Betras. And Sean Byrne. Let's just watch what happens here. Pereira. Sean Byrne says Sheffield United are the new Wolves. We haven't won a game this season after going 1-0 down. Well, we need to change it. We need to change it. Mark, 16 points from 13 games, says Anna Red Barrington. Well, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. But for me, the horrible thing is we've gone 1-0 down and they're still battering it. Welcome back, everybody. You thought the international break made you come back with positivity. So did I. Alligator says, any semi-competent manager doesn't play this formation with a midfield of Fred and Pereira. You're going to get carved open. He's an idiot. I'm surprised we have played two midfielders, I've got to be honest with you. But we have. Most of the season we've played three. Alakash Singh Paria says, we change everything because we lose one player in midfield, but change nothing when we are 1-0 down and clearly losing in the midfield. Sheffield United are playing how they play normally. It's not like they've done something different. He's got to change this at half time, and the thing is, how does he change it? I think he's got to go to 4 at the back. We don't need to play 3 centre backs. We're not using those 3 centre backs very well, and Dan James nearly slipping in Fred there. I mean, Fred's got through a lot. You know what? I've got to say, with regards to Fred, he has got through a lot of work in this half. And we've won a free kick here on Martial. Ali Games says, Jones looks like he will give a penalty every time he plays. Nice outfit, Mark. Looking sharp. Thank you, Ali Games. And Ryan FTW says, I honestly think it's unfair putting it all on Ollie. We've been consistently terrible for years. Our coaching setup is clearly inadequate. Clowns. Yeah, I think you're right. But as a manager, you're always going to take the blame. And to be honest with you, I haven't really gone in on Ollie, have I? I think it's obvious that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get the blame because he's the coach of the club. I'm just stretching my back out here while we have this free kick. But what's irritated me, nothing's happened from the free kick. What's irritated me about this performance from United is that we're 1-0 down, and we've been 1-0 down for a very long time, and yet we've not changed anything. And they've continued to dominate the game. And that's the frustrating thing for me, is that we should, if they go 2-0 in front, the game's pretty much done. And we've done nothing to counter-attack the fact that they're 1-0 up, apart from trying to counter-attack. But they are creating chances. So it's really odd. Abysmal performance, sack Ollie now, no form, says Chris. He's got to get something from today. Whether it's a draw or not, he has to get something today. Because I think we'll beat Villa next week, but we might not. But after that, we're not messing about. We've got Spurs, Mourinho, and then we've got Pep, Man City. Like, they are going to wipe at the floor with us. So he has got to get something from today. This is not... I said this game's pivotal. We've got an opportunity to go into 5th place. We look like a team that should be 5th from bottom at the moment, but we could go 5th. And at the moment, that feels like miles away. But if we can turn this around, we've got 45 minutes. It's 1-0. We can turn it around. We have got the players. But the formation and the tactics at the moment, this game is only going one way. We always come out worse second half, Mark. When was the last time we won a game being behind, says Philip Burtonwood. Well, these are the things you've got to change, Philip. These are the things you've got to change. Thanks for the contribution, David Dean. And Rashford's just been knocked off the ball by Jagielka there. It's a goal kick. I mean, I feel for Rashford and Martial and James. I think they're willing, but they're not getting anything at all. He's got to change the midfield for me. He's got to get 3 men in the midfield. Fred and Pereira are getting swamped. Pereira's having a bad game. Fred's getting through a lot of work, but he's going to get very, very tired very, very soon. And then we've got nothing on the bench. To all the Ollie supporters, I mean, to be honest with you as well, one of the worst things about that goal is it's a long ball and Phil Jones shouldn't be even playing that deep. And De Gea makes a great save from the first shot as well. To all the Ollie supporters, this is his team, his tactics. Why do people still support him? We are not winning this game, says Tim Buck. On go with a 4-4-2 and bring Greenwood on, says Footbar 5710. The problem is, I think, at this point, these stories we hear about Sheffield United and Chris Wilder and not being able to deal with his formation, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer obviously felt that this was the formation to deal with Sheffield United. So if he changes it, is he scared to change it? Should get Nigel Adkins in, says Liam Willis. Yeah. They just... I'll keep saying this again. Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been appalling today, says Sulai T. And Varun Chanda says, even with Pogba and McTominay, our midfield is poor. We are now playing without them. Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think Pogba's the magic wand. I think Pogba's a good player, but we know Pogba's been inconsistent for 3 years. And we also know that McTominay can have a bad game as much as he can have a good game. So it's not like, oh, we're losing because of that. I'm sure if we did lose this game, there would be a certain somebody coming out and saying that. The contrarian says, how will we turn it around if we can't even test their keeper properly? Well, the only way we're going to do that is by being more attacking. We're playing 3 centre-backs and losing. The obvious solution is to take a centre-back off and put them further up the pitch. It's not rocket science. We need to do that. And we need to do it ASAP. We've wasted... When did they score? 20 minutes? We've wasted 25 minutes not doing that. In fairness, Blades are a very good team, very well organised and solid. Liverpool only won at Bramall Lane because of a howler by Henderson, says Rabadam. Yeah, I agree with that, mate. But we are Manchester United and we are mid-table. So, and they would be quite a few points ahead of us if they beat us. So I accept that Sheffield United are a good team. I think we all knew that. Thanks for the contribution, the mystery man. But, I'll keep saying this. We have got the 4th or 5th best paid squad in the world. At what point do people not wake up and realise that we are run terribly as a football club? And then it's catching now because Fred's just giving the ball away and then they've now got players buzzing all over us again. I also think as well, I touched on this a little bit before, I feel sorry for Brandon Williams because Brandon Williams is a young player making his way in the team. Who's his comfort blanket? The left-sided centre-back is Phil Bloody Jones. Like, what a nightmare for a young player. You're only playing like your second full game for Manchester United. You've had Harry Maguire playing next to you at home against Brighton. Go away to Sheffield United or in form and your security blanket is Phil Jones. Well, it's 1-0 at half-time, and it's not 1-0 to Manchester United, and it's certainly not going the way that we thought it would do. It remains very much a work in progress for Manchester United. That's what the club would say. Let's have a look at the stats. Remember, you can download the app. It's a OneFootball app. Link in the video description. They're sponsoring the show for us today. Thank you to them. Please do download the app. It's available on Android and on Apple. I just want to go into the stats section. The great thing about the app in the second half is we can all vote for our man of the match because they open up the man of the match voting. Zayn Miassi says, Mark, you have admitted Pogba has been inconsistent for 3 years, so how can be good? All world-class players are consistent 80% of the time. And let's have a look then. So, I mean, the interesting thing here is that United's possession is better than Sheffield United. We've had 54% possession. We've won more duels than them. We've won more aerial duels than them. But they lead 1-0. They've had 7 shots on target to our 1. And our 1 shot on target, to be honest with you, was never going in from Anthony Martial. So they've had 7 shots on target, 7 shots on goal, 5 on target. We've had 1 shot in the whole game, which was on target. At least we've got 100% shot accuracy, even though it was never going to go in. We've both won the same amount of tackles, but their percentages of passes, it's starting to drop. So, we were beaten. We did have more passes than them. We did have more possession than them. But even that's coming down. But I think the most worrying thing for me, and Don Island says this damn club is blowing my high. Time to roll another one. Want a hit? Okay. And get that Norwegian Frodo Baggins out. It's a joke, says Nico. The problem for me is, and can the love affair with the back three be over now, says Southpaw Love Sports. And Meb3 says, I'm fuming. Being outclassed by Sheffield United is a joke. If Ollie has any love for United, he should admit he's out of his depth and resign, says Meb3. What I would say here is, there's 2 things. Before kick-off, I said I can't stand the 3 at the back, the 3 centre-backs. It doesn't work. It worked well against Liverpool for the first half. Second half, it didn't work. Partizan Belgrade, we were atrocious. Chelsea away in the Carabao Cup, it was atrocious, and we had to change the formation to 4 at the back. I don't know why he's done it today. I think he's tried to be tactically clever because nobody's dealt with this tactic of Sheffield United's 3 centre-backs overlapping. And he's thought, I'm going to match up. And it's actually made us worse than if we just played the way we did against Brighton. 3 centre-backs, right? You play 3 centre-backs, that means you're not meant to concede many chances. We've conceded loads of chances. They should have been 1-0 up before they were 1-0 up. They've dominated us. And since going 1-0 up, the most important thing from that half, since going 1-0 up, Sheffield United have continued to dominate the game and create more chances. Where's the tactical reaction? That game could be over, people. Let's be honest. That game could be 2-0, maybe even 3. But it certainly could be 2-0. If that game's 2-0, it's over. So what are we doing to respond to that? We go 1-0 down and we keep it the same. We keep inviting the pressure. What are we going to do? You can't just sit back and try and hit a team on the break who isn't leaving themselves open to be hitting on the break. They're dominating the midfield. They're creating problems around our box. They're not stretched at all. He's got to change it. And the obvious way is take a centre-back up and get a player on in the midfield. He's got to do that. But I don't know why he didn't do it after half an hour. This formation is not going to work. And to me, I think he's there's almost a stubborn element now. And this is where it gets worrying as a manager. He's almost been stubborn to say, I believe in this formation. It will work. And it doesn't work. And we've been absolutely outclassed. And it's embarrassing. It's an absolute embarrassment. If I was doing the player ratings, which I'll do on the full-time match reaction, nobody's getting above a 5 apart from De Gea. Who me says this is now, we will see how good Ollie is. Second half is now so important. If he gets them fired up for this or we are a damp squid, it will be telling his level. Now or never for me. I think that is a very interesting thing. I wouldn't say this game is gone. Far from it. We've got 45 minutes. It's only 1-0. We are consistently crap in the second half. This needs to be a turning point. The whole game needed to be a turning point. We've wasted half of it. The second half has to be. Marchie says it's simple. Change to an attacking formation that's going to pin them back. Exactly. Keith Richards says Ollie's got the tactics horribly wrong that half. Phil Jones at fault for the goal. Front 3 starved at the ball. De Gea world class and unlucky to concede. He made 3 world class saves. You're right. Nath Matthew says Jonah is actually embarrassing. Play 4 at the back and put Axel at the base of midfield to battle. Andreas and Fred are being bullied, and so is Ollie. Interesting that one from Nath Matthew. Zachary Purvis says, I'll never be Ollie out. However, I would love to see him more to the technical director role and Nagelsmann or Poch brought in as a coach. And Charlie Welch says, Helen Keller FC. They're so confused with the formation changes. That's Ollie out for me for that alone. Tactical carousel. Cheers though, Mark from Illinois. And Nick J says, Andreas is so out of his depth. Look like we have a huge hole in midfield. Arguably one of the worst halves United I've ever watched. We've been dominated. We have been dominated, haven't we? That's the scary thing. What changes would you suggest after that half, Mark? Says Scars Choose Pokemon. And Meb3, even the goal was Ollie's fault. It was his decision to pick Jones over Twansebi. I don't think Twansebi's actually fit enough to start. He shouldn't have played 3 centre-backs. That's what he shouldn't have done. And Rabani says, crazy how no one talked about him leaving Garner out for Jones. I was fuming before the game. It was the perfect opportunity. Ollie is done out here, says Rabani. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we're trying to get up to 583,000 subscribers today. Bottom right hand corner, we've got fan cams and we've got my match reaction afterwards. If this doesn't change, it's going to be a horrible evening for United fans, because there's going to be very, very, very big pressure on Ollie. He has got to change this around at half time. James and Rashford aren't playing wide enough, says Josh Sutton. What would I do at half time? Yeah, because it's very easy. You've got to say, well, I've got to ask the question, what if Sheffield United are just too good? Nobody can deal with that formation. Doesn't matter whether you're Liverpool. Liverpool only won because of a scrappy goal. Nobody can deal with Sheffield United. They're too good. I would say that's bollocks, because I think Chris Wilder deserves a lot of credit. But before today, I couldn't have named 3 of their players. I think I know Lundstrom, Fleck, and Jagielka if he plays. I don't know any of their players. I do now because I've obviously spent the week researching them, but I don't know any of their players. They don't have any star players. I know who their manager is. They're doing a great job, Sheffield United, but I don't think they're unbeatable. And we've got very good players. What I would have done from the start, but that's gone, what I would do at half time is take Phil Jones off, tell him to start walking back to Manchester, go to 4 at the back with Lindelof and Maguire, take Jones off. Look, to be honest with you, who you bring on is difficult. But for me, it's James Garner. You put James Garner next to Fred, and you put Pereira in the more attacking position. You give him 15 minutes. And if Pereira continues to be shit, you take him off and you bring Juan Mata on, because Juan Mata can play for half an hour. You keep the front 3 as it is, because it's dangerous if we can get them on the ball. The midfield is, we've got to get another man in the midfield. Got to get another man in the midfield, and got to take a centre-back off. Who you bring on, I personally would get Garner on. He's on the bench. If he's on the bench, he's ready. Get him on the bench. I fear he'll take Jones off and bring Lingard on, and I don't think that's the right thing to do. But there you go. Did you see the goal scorer is named after the Joker? Says Zayn Massey. I didn't. Tim Z30 feet. Ollie outclassed. I insist Ole Gunnar Solskjaer outclassed. It's his defeats. Hobbits in the middle. It's a joke. David, Aaron and Anthony, only players who okay first half. Seymour Turner Jr. says Phil Jones needs dropping for Garner. Ollie might have coached Poch in. So well, a lot of people are starting to say that, even though I have my reservations. Stephen Dowd only got to see the last 10 minutes due to work. The boys look lost. I think I'm finally Ollie out if they lose this. Tactically, he's clueless. You know what as well? We absolutely lack leaders. We lack leadership in that football team. And Harry Maguire is captain. He's only been here 4 months, which isn't Harry Maguire's fault. I think he's a good choice for captain, but it just shows how shit that squad is. We bought 3 players in the summer, and one of them's had to become the captain out of a squad of 25. It shows you that the current squad, beyond the players we've bought, are absolutely got no leadership at all. There is no leadership on that pitch, and it costs you. There's no leadership, there's no cohesion. I mean, I saw this thing about Fred can't even speak the language. That's not relevant. I think when people talk about that, that's irrelevant. But are we communicating on the pitch? That's relevant. And I don't see the communication. It just looks like a bunch of individuals again. We've read that from Stephen Dowd. Jay Boxer says the 2 biggest issues we have, not one player has any defensive sense of danger and no player has the ability to pick out a killer pass. And Jordan Such says, let's be honest, Pogba ain't coming back for Spurs just because of Mourinho, even if he was fit. More so if he's watching this today. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. We're going to miss not signing Bruno Fernandes for every minute of every game of this season. Charles B, we need Chris Smalling. He scored and got an assist today. Yeah, in a league that's on slow play. And Cascade L says, Fosu Mensah, Pogba, McMahon and Twanzebe are needed. Mate, I think you bring all those players back and we're still losing this game 1-0. I do. I think we've now become that club where we're scratching around for Fosu Mensah, who failed at Palace and Fulham but suddenly can be a first teamer for United, McTominay, who is inconsistent and young, Pogba, who is inconsistent, and Twanzebe, who's played 1 game for us really in the Premier League. They could all work well, but they're not a magic wand, and it's not going to work. We're a club in mess, and talking about players that are missing all the time, it really is an excuse. Those players on that pitch should be doing better than they are. Jones was fouled. Goal shouldn't have counted, says Brandon Slaughter. Well, look, I did say that at the time. But to be honest with you, Phil Jones as a centre-back should not be being knocked off the ball like that, like a little child. You've got to. The reason he gets knocked off on the ball on the floor is because he plays for the foul. He'd done it 5 minutes before in the penalty box. I actually thought that was a penalty. You know, where he dives on the floor. The striker doesn't do anything wrong. Phil Jones has this thing where he goes to the ground too easy to win a free kick. And he did that on the shoulder barge. That shoulder barge should never knock him on the floor. And as a centre-back, you should be hitting him back and winning that. He was ahead of the centre-back. He had the power and the position to hold that ball. And he blew it. B. Yakov, the thing is their centre-backs haven't even needed to go forward. Absolutely dominated in the midfield. And Murray says, Sheffield United coaching and system make the team better than the individuals. Our team and coaching and system makes individuals look worse. I know. Well, we're in for a massive second half now. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you tune in after the game for the match reaction as well. At the moment, I've been in this position before. I remember Mourinho being 2-0 down against Manchester City at the Etihad and we won 3-2. So stranger things have happened. I think to say we're definitely going to lose at half-time is a dangerous thing. But what I would say is if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer loses this game, the pressure will ramp up again. This was meant to be today about turning a corner, getting some consistency, winning 5 games from our next 6. If we lose the very first one, it's got a very similar feel to this time last year when Mourinho was under pressure. We had an international break. I think our first game back after the international break was Crystal Palace at home. I was actually at it. We drew 0-0. I think we drew the next game after that against Southampton. We lost to Liverpool and he was gone. So similarly, I predicted we were going to win a lot of those games and we didn't. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, these games, especially Sheffield United, Aston Villa, Everton and Watford before Christmas, he's got to win all 4 of them. And at the moment, he's losing at half-time. And we know when we're behind, we struggle. We said before the game, the first goal was key in this game. If United get it, Sheffield United have got to open up a bit. If they get it, we've got to open up a bit. And the next goal is crucial in this game. And United, at the moment, we deserve to be behind. We're not doing enough in this game. Will you bring Garner in for Jones, says Sankadeep? Unfortunately, I'm not the manager of Manchester United, but I would do. I would definitely do it. Keith the Cook says it's time to go to the South American teams. Last night was so much better. Get the River Plate manager Gallardo. Even Pep rates him. Tactically outclassed, says George Source. And that's the problem. We have been tactically outclassed. It's just not been good enough for Manchester United so far. And he's got 45 minutes to turn this around. And if he doesn't, we are in trouble, people. We are in big, big trouble. So, can we do it in the second half? Get your comments in. What's the final score going to be in this game? Can we turn it around? I'm just going to have to say that I think United will turn this around in the second half because I have to believe that. Lingard is on. I told you it'd be bloody Lingard. Well, you know, why does Lingard get to come on? I tell you what, I'm going to drop a tweet on this as well. Why is Lingard the answer? Why the bloody hell is Lingard the answer? I tell you what, he better bloody do it today because that is ridiculous. So Phil Jones off and Lingard on. It's the one I predicted Ollie would do. He had to do that at half-time. He's got to go for it. So at least he's done that. But for me, it wouldn't be Lingard. It wouldn't be Lingard I would bring on. Stephen Dowd says, end of the day, the players' own pride should carry them through games like this. Unfortunately, we don't have a player that will take the team by the scruff of the neck and raise the spirits. Well, Lingard's the answer. That's the answer that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has given. I think it's a cop-out, but you know what? It's a worry because Jesse Lingard's not done anything for nearly 2 years. So we want him to do something in a massive game now. Maybe he will. Have you seen the picture of Woodward shouting at Sir Alex? Says Ryan Waz. No, I haven't. And he can go and fuck off if he has done that. Nobody does that. Smith Jones, why would any player want to come United under Ollie? At least Jose's name still holds weight with foreign players. Moyes never had us looking this bad. Well, the second half has kicked off and I haven't started out the timer. So let me just do that for you, people. Right, timer's up. Is the time up for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, or can United do something second half? We've gone to 4 at the back. Luke Parks would do a better job than Ole, says the mystery man. What do you think about the substitution? I mean, to be honest with you, anybody for Phil Jones is an improvement. I think it's a risk by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to get Lingard on. I'm not a fan of Lingard, as people know, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He has got to go and do something today. If he doesn't do it today, what is the bloody point? I personally think Garner should have started, but there we go. But I think the first thing Manchester United have got to do in this half is actually get a foothold in the game. And if we do that, then maybe there is a chance to get back into it. But here we go. Little bit of a break here in Sheffield. There's loads of space for United here. He has got to find a ball, Rashford. He's overrun it and it's not even gone for a corner. That was an opportunity, that was. But we didn't do that in the whole half in the first game. So a little bit better. We've got to go on the front foot. Fortune favours the brave. Exactly. We've got to go on the front foot. Turn it around. Turn around, bright eyes. It's funny, isn't it? I was just looking at the watch along thumbnail for the game today, and David De Gea is the thumbnail, isn't it? And it's almost like we predicted he would be the key in this game. But United actually are on the front foot here. Let's see if we can get it back into this game, because Rashford's going to shoot way over the bar. Keeper was diving. I was getting a bit excited there. But no cigar. If you want to get yourself a 5 Cantonage jumper for Christmas, look, whatever happens with United, we're still going to support them, aren't we? And it's a cracking Christmas jumper. The link's in the video description. It's available worldwide. Obviously, if you are in America or Australia or wherever, order it the sooner the better, because you want it to be getting there before Christmas for you. So the link's in the video description for that. Wear it for Christmas Day, Christmas parties, 5 Cantonage. And I'm sure the United fans will be singing it today if we can get back into the bloody game. At the moment, they're probably, I don't know, saying bar humbug. But United have started off a little bit better. They couldn't have done many more. If we all followed Lingard on Instagram, unfollowed Lingard on Instagram, would he still get a new contract, says John Richardson. That's a fair point. What was Ollie smoking, picking up Jones over Twan Sebi, says Varun Chanda. Twan Sebi, I don't think Twan Sebi's fit. I don't. We have Rojo's injured. Twan Sebi's only just come back. Liverpool win the league. United are an embarrassment, says Adil Farik. I don't think Twan Sebi was fit enough to play today. So that's not something I'm going to jump on, to be fair. Because Twan Sebi's only just started training. And Luke Shaw and Matic have only just started training, and they're not even on the bench. So the fact that Twan Sebi can even be on the bench, I think, shows something. But you know what? I don't think Brandon Williams has had a good game today. He's probably going to get a yellow card here. I don't think he's had a good game today. And I would play him every day of the week over Ashley Young. But this is what I talk about young players. People say Brandon Williams is our left back now, not Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's still our left back because he is experienced. Like, he's just gone in the book there, Brandon Williams. I don't think he's had a good game today. I think he's been up against a very good team that overlap, and he's been overworked. But I expect that with youth players. It's not a criticism. If Brandon Williams doesn't improve and he ends up getting a 5 out of 10 today, I'll probably bump it up to a 6 because he's a young player, and I don't want to be sort of going in on a young player. The whole point of young players is they are inconsistent. And And I'd still pick him over Ashley Young, but I think everyone who's saying, oh, Brandon Williams needs to play every game, he's going to need to get taken out for some games because he's going to have games where he doesn't play so well. He's a work in progress. He's very young. He can be our left back of the future, but you've got to be progressive with it. And Sheffield United have played a really silly ball there, and I think Lingard's that's gonna be a yellow card there for sure. It's a shame because we had a bit of a break there. Could be worse. Drew Gea could play up top, says Rick Ruddick. And will Cantona come in and King Kung Fu Woodward in his box, says Amy Assey. Well, I'm intrigued with this Woodward shouting at Sir Alex thing. Is that just a joke or is that actually true? I don't know. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. That'll be appreciated. See if we can get it to 583,000. But Sheffield United are on the attack here. What the fucking hell? What the fucking hell? Oh, I'm speechless. I'm absolutely. It's 2-0. It's 2-0. What? First of all, I don't normally do this when United go 2-0 down, but what a bloody goal. I can't believe he's beat De Gea from there. I'm speechless. It's Wan-Bissaka into Pereira again. Pereira losing the ball and Fred losing the runner. Maguire doesn't close him down. I don't know De Gea. I don't think De Gea should get beat from here. It starts with Pereira giving the ball away. I don't know. I don't. It's Maguire and Fred. They're holding hands. They're playing ring a roses. Go and put a bloody tackle in. He doesn't have at this level. You should not be running at the goal and getting a shot away. It's a bloody good finish. I can't say anything else. It's a good finish. But again, we're the masters of our own downfalls. Amy Ass is there saying goal. That's what happens when you're 1-0 down. You know, sometimes teams score good goals, and that goal is it's Pereira in the midfield, and it's Harry Maguire, and it's Fred. It's just shocking defending again, but the goal's a good goal. I just. Oh. Merry Christmas. Bloody hell. I'm not normally like that. I'm not normally stunned. I did think we'd at least try and put up a bit of a fight, and then they have their first attack straight after and it's 2-0. I'm worried now. If we get back, if we even get a draw out of this, give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a new contract, because that would be some turnaround. They are in the ascendancy. They are in control. And we are out of control. De Gea deserves a statue and stand for staying and not leaving this piss poor club, says Nico. He won't be. You know what? Everyone in the live comments, he ain't going to get sacked. He ain't going to get sacked. Like, whether he should get sacked or not. I mean, my mind's just spinning here. I'm not Ollie out. And at this point, I'm like, I really thought we were going to win today. So there is an element of shock in what I'm saying here. And I'm not just going to blurt out Ollie out, because I've never been Ollie out. And I haven't been Ollie out because I just didn't feel like the story had been told yet. I felt there was a final chapter. Is this the final chapter? I'll have to think through it. But he won't be sacked. He won't be sacked because the club, the ex-players, the board, the players, everybody's hiding behind the biggest excuse in the world. Give it time. Give it time. It's a nonsense. You cannot say give it. I've said this so many times. You say give it time. You go into work tomorrow morning and your boss says, put your feet up. Don't matter. Do your work tomorrow because we're going to be good tomorrow. Doesn't matter about today. Do sod all. Decorate your desk. Go and have a Costa. You're gonna be lazy because your boss is telling you to do it. What's Manchester United's message? It doesn't matter about the moment. In the future, we'll be good. But you're only begin. The thing that people don't understand about the future and being good is, and United are on the attack here. Let's get a goal. Let's get a goal. Lingard, Williams, Rashford. Good play. He's got a score here. Oh, it's a corner. the thing about future and the thing about time is that you're only going to get to where you want to be in the future if you hard work now. United Football Club, right? They talk about the future and they go, give it time, give it future. But they don't realise to get good in the future, you've got to graft now. And we're not grafting. So it's like they think they're going to get sprinkled in fairy dust and suddenly be title contenders. You've got to graft. Look at Sheffield United. They graft their arse off. You've got to graft. And we don't graft. We're not grafting. We think we're going to wake up one morning, turn up to a game and win 4-0 and then go, yay, that's it, we've done it now. We're crap. We're tactically crap. The players are crap. There's no leadership. We are talking about a future that's not going to come until maybe today in the next 35 minutes we turn it around. But you've got to do it. You've got to turn it around. You can't just end the game and say, we'll be good in the future. This next 35 minutes, turn it around. And then people will go, remember we were 2-0 down against Sheffield United. We got 2-2. That was the turning point against a good team. But you can't end the game and go, doesn't matter, in the future we're going to be good. But that's what we're going to do. The club are stubbornly sticking by everything we're doing at the moment is great. Well, it's not great. If we lose today, we've lost to Sheffield United, Crystal Palace, West Ham, Newcastle and Bournemouth. Have we lost to anybody else? But out of those 5 teams, you would argue that all 5 of those teams are bottom half of the table teams. Clowns, as Tim said, 35. Spee Mello says, money was available, but we chose to not sign anyone. Mark, you were right when you said he should be sacked for that. Look at our midfield. Players, coaches, managers, board, all of it's not good enough. I'm worried where the future's heading, Mark, says Don Island. Well, we're doing a little bit better at the moment. We're on the attack, but Zawin is the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. Remember, you can join by clicking the join button. But is this because Sheffield United are now 2-0 up and they're thinking, let's sit back a bit? How are you still Ollie in, says Andros Lugila. Look, I'm not going to make a decision on what I think about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when the game is still 35 minutes old. My feeling about the result of a game is it's as relevant as it was in the first minute. All right, at the start of the game I thought we were going to win, and at this point I think we're going to lose, but we haven't lost and we haven't not won. So for me to sit here and go, I'm Ollie out, what if we go and get a draw? What if we miraculously get a win? That looks stupid. So I will wait till my match reaction, but at this moment in time, they better bloody do something in the next 35 minutes because this is shit. And we are showing a little bit more urgency now. But it makes me think, where's the urgency in the last hour? You know, it's shocking. It's really shocking. We need some leadership. We need people to step up. And we are, actually we are getting the ball in the final third at the moment. Ollie out, says a lot of the live comments, including Shane Webb. I think Fred was looking to have a shot here. Now we've got it wide to Wan-Bissaka. Decent cross. I don't think we've got anybody on the box who's going to get on a cross like that unless Harry Maguire goes into the box. And that's wide. And that's a goal kick. I don't know what Harry Maguire was doing there. Frederick says Gary Neville says the front three is a joke. Well, in all fairness to Gary Neville, I respect Gary Neville's opinion, but it ain't the front three today. I don't know why he's... that is a man who is, as we know, never going to go against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And if Gary Neville is blaming the front three today, I'm surprised because he does understand football. The reason we are losing this game is because tactically we've exposed our midfield and played too defensively until it's too late. And we've basically suffocated our front three by not providing them with any oxygen. So to blame it on the front three is hilarious because it's not the front three. That's not why we've lost this game at all. And again, there's another silly pass given away there by United. It's the mistakes. Even though that second goal for Sheffield United was good, it's the mistakes. Pereira, before the second goal, gives the ball away. The first goal, obviously, Phil Jones. There's been some terrible mistakes in this game from United. And Sheffield United just want it more. They're winning the ball back all the bloody time. And that's offside. This is it. I've finally had enough of Ollie. He is tactically inept. My nan could set us up better than him. Regardless of the result, he needs to go, says Danny. But what if we go and win it, Danny? I know it sounds unlikely, but what if we go and win it? And I think there's going to be a yellow card here for Wan-Bissaka. It was late. Ollie's so inexperienced, but even if we replace Ollie, we must buy in January. Thin squad and even thinner with Jones, Pereira, Rojo and the Woodward with other clowns. Well, I'm going to tweet this now. For anybody tweeting Ollie out, the job starts with Woodward. United on the attack here. We need to get one back and then I think the game will get interesting. Dan James, good cross, but nobody across the front post there. That was the sort of cross there where I think it's just a little bit too quick for Martial to get there. But watching it back, I'm a little bit... Well, I don't think Martial's busting a gut, to be honest. Martial's not moved enough there. Ollie is so inexperienced. Yeah, I agree with that from Ahmed Hamada. Woodward out and spend 600 million to praise VE. Humi says, the worst thing that can happen in football is underestimating the opposition. If the team has the same attitude as we have had on here, and it's only Sheffield United, we only knew a few players, then we deserve everything we got. There is an arrogance. An arrogance can be a good thing. There is an arrogance to Manchester United. They all think they're better than they are. This whole coaching staff looks lost, says Christopher Liu. Well, we've not changed anything from being 2-0 down. Brandon Williams making a mistake there. This is concentration levels, though, now. This is pressure. We're seeing players, make mistakes because the confidence has gone. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, we've got fan cams coming up. They're going to be very interesting. My match reaction as well. That's going to be interesting because I've got no idea what I'm going to talk about, to be honest. I'm somewhat... I didn't expect this result today. And I'm somewhat... what's the word? Shocked. I didn't expect it to be this comfortable for Sheffield United, if I'm honest with you. Ollie's still in the dugout, says Sajai T. Jordan Such, this performance reminds me of Everton away last season when we lost 4-0. Yeah, you're right, actually. There is that total domination by a team that you'd expect to beat. I think you're spot on, and I'm gonna use that, Jordan, in my match reaction if it stays this way, because I think that's a very, very good point. Where is the progress? Woodward out. We've read that from Praise. And Russell Thompson says, only reason Ollie won't go just now is we have Spurs, City and Everton in the next few games. 5 at the back against Sheffield United is a joke. Attitude is discussing, says Russell Thompson. Akil Kamal says, absolutely, it starts with Woodward. A decent director of football would have let us enter the season so light in midfield and attack. Managers should only need to focus on the pitch. And Isaf Began says, Ollie had no real CV and the 2 coaches he kept with him, Michael and Kieran, aren't good enough. We need Poch with his staff and scouts. $63 minutes. Give it time. There's still time. Coco95, thanks for the contribution. A long shot there, and it's wide from Martial. Yeah, if we lose, he won't be sacked. It will just be another Bournemouth, another West Ham, another Newcastle that just suddenly seems to become acceptable, but wasn't acceptable under Mourinho. And I don't think Jose gives a shit anymore. And I think I was right to sack Jose. But I mean, the standards. I'm just going to write that down as well. The standards. If we had these results under Jose Mourinho, everyone wanted him sacked. A year later, we've got on with Ollie and everyone's suddenly going, well, it's acceptable, which is something I've been saying for a while. Why have the expectations dropped? Because the club want them to drop. We're only 30 subscribers away from 583,000, so please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner, and that number in the top right-hand corner will change to 583. But at least United over the last 10 minutes since going 2-0 down have showed some intensity. It's more about lack of ability at the moment. I think for the first half there wasn't enough intensity there, where I think we have got the intensity now. We just don't actually have the ability. We brought Lingard on Devils United at half-time for Phil Jones, which never should have happened in the first place. It's been 6 years since the board has been talking about the future. Woodward needs to be held responsible for the mess we are in, says Naveen Nazani. And Sally Abdi says, Ollie in, mate, enjoy the relegation race while we win the Premier League. You bastard. And Who Me says, no player deserves a rating above a 4 at the currently time of play. And with a rating of 4, I am being very generous. Be honest and brutal later, mate. No sugarcoating this. Yeah, you can join me for my match reaction straight after the game. I'll put the link in the video description in a moment. Well, we've still got plenty of time left yet. But I will be doing my player ratings in that as well. Have you seen the footage of Fergie and Ed? I haven't, and I'm going as soon as we have a little bit of a slump in the game. In fact, I'll do it now. I'll do it on my phone. I'm intrigued by this. There won't be any January signings or sackings. Only new announcements of sponsors and social media analytics, says Alligator. And I thought we might have a chance there. Ollie is inept, and the club thinks that we fans are fools. Time won't fix awful tactics. Ollie obviously thought Jones was the answer. Today, pathetic, says Christian Maxwell. And Yusuf Began says, Mark, you said one time that United should have appointed the best possible person for the director of football. That should apply to the manager who needs to steer the club. Jim Ratcliffe was being nice when said dumb money, says Balaji Kumar. Okay, it's on the United stand. Okay, I should be able to show you this. That's Woodward and Sir Alex Ferguson apparently today. I don't think it looks like it's anything. From that picture, it doesn't look like it's anything. It looks like they're having a laugh. Well, Sheffield United are making a substitution to their best player, which is Muze. So that could help us, I suppose. Let's have a... Actually, please do download the OneFootball app. The link is in the video description because you can start voting for your man of the match on that at the moment. It's available on Apple and Android. And if you go to the matches section of that, it is free on Apple and Android. Really good app. And I can also give you the stats on the game as well so far. Stats in the second half. 60% possession for United, so it has come on like that. You can't blame the front three when the midfield is poor, says Soham Makaji. Lots to talk about in the match reaction already, and I'm sure we're going to get a few more points as well. What annoys me more than anything in football is a team who start to play when it's too late. It shows an act of desperation, and Sheffield United have taken the foot off the pedal, says me. And Ed Woodward, Ollie staying in your daddies. We're renaming the Sir Alex stand to Ollie stand. And Twisted 8725 says, Mark, we should move for Poch now or possibly lose out to Arsenal as Emery is walking the same tightrope. Pochettino won't go to Arsenal though. He won't go to Barcelona because of Espanyol, so he's not going to go there. He might go to Bayern Munich. So 60% possession for Manchester United. We've had 4 shots now, only 1 on target. They've had 6 on target, and we've had double the amount of passes to them. Which, you know, we've had a lot of the ball in the last few minutes. But download the app and you can vote for your man of the match. I'll take a look at that in a few minutes. Poch could get more out of these players than Ollie, says Justin 506. The one thing I would say about Pochettino is, and I keep saying this, he doesn't play with wingers, and Manchester United have been about that. San Kadeep says, it's not about Ollie out. I will take Poch if he is available, or I'll stay with Ollie till the end of the season. He's just a better long-term option than Ollie. And Luke Craig says, name your dream midfield, unlimited budget, go. Dream midfield. I mean, I'm going to say Kante. I'm going to say De Bruyne, and probably Verratti. I think I'd like that as a mix. And United are desperately trying to get back into this game, but they can't get hold of the ball at the moment. So 20 minutes to go. It's not about, I will take, I've read that one, Sankadeep, thank you very much. Oh, God. The thing is, when we started this stream a couple of hours ago, I said I felt positive because I'd had the international break away from Manchester United playing football. And I was like, we can go fifth today. We can banter Arsenal. We're above them. Despite having a terrible start to the season, we can be in fifth place. And we've got Villa next week. And then we've got that great week against Spurs and Man City. And we can start building something and we can turn the corner. And I was willing to, I said, I'm not going to moan. I'm going to be positive, and then the players and the coach can deliver a positive result, and we can be positive. And, you know, the Manchester United absolutely can't get their head around the fact that the fans are pissed off and frustrated. They can't get their head around it at all, right? But here we are. And we try to be positive and we get let down. Willie J. Souls, did you see Fergie and Ed arguing? Yeah, but I don't know the context of it. Woodward should be sacked, says Muntar Islam, but let's not use Woodward as an excuse for Ollie's incompetence. Ace says, we're just kicking the ball, hoping for the best, hoping it hits a United shirt. It's a joke. And Yazza says, if Poch is not good enough for Spurs, why is he good enough for Manchester United? Probably because we're shit, mate. To be honest, Spurs did get to a Champions League final. I don't think we've got much chance of getting to a bloody... a Carabao Cup final, have we? Although we might. If Ollie is still at the wheel, he's definitely a drunk driver, says Roy Amanta. Well, 2-0 is a dangerous score in football. I'm just hoping we can somehow get one back and then it sets it up for a barnstorming finish, because if we do end up getting a draw, cross, shoot, goal! Brandon Williams, that's the one! Lovely finish. I told you, if we can get one back, we can get back into it, and he's finished that one. I tell you what, I don't think he was even having a bloody good game, but what a finish. It drops to him unmarked on the back post. The cross comes in from Dan James. It flicks off somebody's head, and that's the genius of having a two-footed fullback, because on his right foot, unstoppable, absolutely unstoppable finish, and it sets up 20 minutes to go, 2-1. And Manchester, I said this, we can get back into this game. Everyone's going Ollie out, and I'm like, wait till the end of the game, because we could get back into it. Football's a funny old game, and that is an absolute stonking finish, and it needed to be. It needed something like that, and Brandon Williams has provided it in a game that he's not actually had that much of a good game, but he's produced something. And now Greenwood's coming on, so Manchester United are clearly... Andres Pereira's coming off, so we're definitely going to be going on the front foot now. Woo! Football, eh? Funny old game. Pereira, awful game. Awful game for him, but Manchester United back in it. Come on, lads, get something out of this. Turn a page. There's still time. We can still win this. 20 minutes to go. 2-1. What a finish. I agree with Humi. It's a shame it's taken us so bloody long to get going, but now that we have got going, let's keep it going. You'll feel that in the next 20 minutes we will create another chance. And I just feel that the momentum is with United now, going into this last 15 minutes. Have Sheffield United sort of got 2-0 up, took the foot off the pedal? It's sometimes hard to put your foot back on the pedal. Interesting. 2-1 to United. Cracking goal by Brandon Williams gets us back into it. I think, to be honest with you, I don't know what to expect out of this game anymore. At 2-0, I know a lot of you are Ollie out, but I just felt there was too much time. If we could just get one back, maybe the momentum's with us to get a draw out of this game. You just don't know. A lot of it is due to the players as well, says Will Lloyd-Jones. I think that the lesson from this game is the same as the lesson against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup. Dreadful first half with 3 centre-backs. Second half, so much better. And he's got to stop playing 3 centre-backs. Because we've been awful from that. Final 15 minutes this season, Sheffield United haven't conceded any. A little bit of a worry, but I'm not. Stats are there to be broken. We're going to win 3-2, says Will Lloyd-Jones. Well, you've heard it there first. I tell you what, if we do go on and win 3-2, that's got to be the turning point, hasn't it? You've got to take these opportunities. We've got 15 minutes to get something out of a game that many people were saying Ollie out in. So we've got time. Let's go and do it. Sheffield United, to me, at the moment, I wouldn't say they're on the ropes, but they're looking a bit tired, and that could be a big opportunity for us because we're retaining the ball. Suddenly, United, when United have got their heads up and are playing confident, we're a decent team. When we're not, we play in spurts. In that first half, I think we could have played all year and got absolutely battered. This second half, now we've got that goal back, and suddenly we look like a decent team again. Got to be careful on the break. Got to be careful on the break with Sheffield United. But it's going to go end to end now. It's going to be exciting. I feel we're going to get a goal. I feel we'll get a goal. Which is why that Brandon Williams goal is so good. And I really want to revisit that at full time if it turns out to be a goal that gets us back into this game. Because if it's only one, if it's only going to be a consolation, it doesn't mean too much. But if we can I feel we'll get a goal, and I think that Brandon Williams goal will become even better than it actually is getting the credit for at the moment because we're still losing. Dan James, he's getting the crosses in the box, but nobody on the end of that one. Now it's going to be Lingard. And I think Lingard's done okay without being brilliant. I think Lingard's done all right. Goal! Yes! What a cross! It's Mason Greenwood. It's 2-2. Marcus Rashford. Bloody get in! Come on! Manchester United back in it, and it's two youngsters, but the cross from Rashford was absolutely superb. He couldn't miss. The cross it's absolutely world class from Marcus Rashford. This Lingard feeds it into Rashford. Is very little. No, it's not. It's Wan-Bissaka. There's very little backlift. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome, and it's 2-2. Come on, let's go and bloody win this now. What a cross. Mason Greenwood makes it 2-2. The cross by Rashford is absolutely sensational. Greenwood can't do much wrong. He can't do much wrong there, and he didn't. He finishes it off. But the cross by Rashford, absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Superb. Manchester United 2-2. Come on, go and win it now. This can be the turning point. This can be the turning point. Sheffield United look on their feet. Dead on their feet. And United... Whew, football, eh? Bloody hell, who said that? Who said that? I told you, didn't I? I said everyone going Ollie out. Wait till the final whistle. This game's not done, and it isn't done. And we could end up with a really, really fantastic result here, which I predicted from the outset. But I didn't predict it was going to go like that. I thought we'd be a little bit... I didn't think we'd have to go through the ringer to get it. But youngsters getting us out of jail. Well, Sheffield United haven't conceded a goal in the last 15 minutes this season. They have now. They might concede two because United are buzzing all over Sheffield United now, and I think Sheffield United made a mistake. They've sat back against us and they've invited us on, and you see this happen time and time again. Time and time again, you see this happening with teams whereby they get into a comfortable position, they drop a couple of gears, and they've definitely done that. And United are now all over them. And Dan James into the box. Cut it back. 3-2. There it is. What a comeback. Manchester United turn it around. Dan James to Marcus Rashford. 3-2. And I tell you what, if you were saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out, you must feel like a bit of a prat. Because United have turned this round from 2-0 to 3-2. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who may well have been looking at a lot of people saying sack him in a few minutes' time, is now going to be walking out of Bramall Lane. I tell you what, he's healed from those brambles, and he's got a 3-2 result here. And I don't see United losing it. And they've just carved them open. Dan James, Rashford with the tap in. It's 3-2 to United. It's absolutely superb. What a turnaround. You can't knock the players for that. I wish they bloody did it from minute one. You've got to say that. But personally, I don't think it's anything to do with the players. I think Gary Neville saying, oh, the front three are to blame. It's not the front three to blame. You give the front three the ball and they will do things like that. It's the tactics. It's three at the back. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he can fist pump all he likes. You're a bit of a prat, mate, because you've done this 4 times now. You played 3 at the back. Stop playing 3 at the back. You're exposing your naivety, stupidity. Stop playing 3 at the back. Because walking out of this like you're some sort of tactical genius, you're a bloody idiot what you did at the start. Stop playing 3 at the back. Stop playing Phil Jones and play what works. 4-3-3. It works. Stop doing stupid things. Do what you did to get the job and you will reap the benefits. And we're heading up to 5th. We are reaping the benefits. Woo! What a game. What a bloody game. 3-2. Change the score. Change the score. And Manchester United now, Sheffield United looking like the team I thought we were going to beat. What a turnaround. And you know what makes me laugh? You know what makes me laugh out of this more than anything? What did I say at half time? I'm not going to start moaning about Ollie in or Ollie out because I've been in this position before where I've seen the whole of the live comments saying, get rid of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, get rid of Mourinho. 2-0 down at half-time at the Etihad, and we won 3-2. I've seen it happen at the Etihad, so it can definitely happen at Bramall Lane, and we were only 1-0 down at half-time, but what a turnaround. What a turnaround. And Andy Dawson saying flip-flop. Andy, if you've got the time, go through the live comments, go through the last few minutes. I never said Ollie out. I said, what's changed? 90 minutes is what the final result is. That's when you make your mind up. I think he's a prat. I do. I think he's a lucky prat, though, because to be 2-0 down because you played a stupid formation, he's very lucky to get out of this game. But what he hopefully has learned is that you do not play that formation ever again. And this should be 4-2. Jesse Lingard into Dan James. Sheffield United are absolutely run ragged. Lingard, should have been 4. Should have been 4. But we're absolutely all over them now. Absolutely all over them. And what a result for Manchester United. And Chris Wilder and all his genius, well, you know what? People are still saying Ollie out. We're not playing 4-3-3, we're playing 4-2-4, says Mr. Cleanse. I think we're playing all sorts of shit at the moment because I think it's basically, as somebody said, you know, we're 2-0 down and we've just gone for it. Absolutely gone for it. It's not really about tactics now. It's about just absolutely going to try and get a result. But, I'm going to have a sore throat tonight, but what a result for Manchester United. What a turnaround. But there's no... Now I'm starting to calm down a bit from the buzz of it. It isn't really... Tactically, it's just been a mess. You know, you've lost the game, so you just go gung-ho, and then you win the game. We've got to start to learn to play games for 90 minutes and be good for 90 minutes because the game could have been over at half-time. It should have been over at 2-0. We've then gone gung-ho. We've shown that as an attacking side, we are a good side when we attack. And then in the second half, and then we've won the game from that. But as an overall performance, it's been really odd. And we might get another goal here because Sheffield United are all over the place. Mason Greenwood down the right-hand side just needs to pick people out. Maybe he's hold on to that a little bit. Corner. Omar Marquez says, I swear Manchester is that team that just makes us fans suffer small heart attacks. Should have been playing like this since the beginning, though. I don't think you can play like this from the beginning. We've just gone gung-ho football because we were 2-0 down. What we need to do is just stop playing 5 at the back. That's not Mike Phelan, that bold guy. Who's that? What a comeback, says Lucas7. It's definitely been entertaining. Martial's coming off for Twansibi. He hasn't got his goal today. Which has surprised me. But at the end of the day, not too fussed. This is about Manchester United getting a win. And we go to... Hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. We go to 5th. We go to 5th in the league. Above Arsenal. Arsenal fans will be crying. Where's Zayn Meassi? What a game. What a game, eh? You just never know. And, what do we learn from this? Oh, God. I think the player ratings are going to be ridiculous because I don't really know what you learn from this. But but ultimately, yet again, we're saying, I don't care what we learn from it. We get 3 points. Oh, Harry Maguire nearly there. I don't feel sorry for Sheffield United, by the way, at all. I know some people are saying, "Oh, I feel sorry for Sheffield United." I don't feel sorry for Sheffield United. I think that it's a 90-minute game for a reason, and I think that they've absolutely... Hold on. Still 5 minutes left in this game. If we ended up drawing this game from this position, I'd be absolutely stunned, because I think we can get a fourth. I just think they got to 2-0 and they thought they'd won it. And there was still half an hour to go. And half an hour can be a long time in football to sit back. And I think that that Brandon Williams goal just came at the perfect time. And that cross from Rashford. 2 world-class goals, to be honest with you, from United. Sheffield United are on the attack here. Cross coming into the back post. Maguire's going to win that every day of the week. That's got to be offside. It is, yes. So important to get 3 points today for United. So important. What a game. What a game. I don't even want to take credit for saying I thought United would win today as well, because the way it's gone, you can't really say how I predicted we'd win, because it's not how I predicted we would win. Not at all. I thought we'd win 2-1 comfortably and be the better team. We have been the better team because we're going to win the game, but it's not been the game I predicted. So I do take credit for saying we would win, because I said we would win. But I think it's been one of them games we won't forget, and I think it could be massively pivotal. Well, I don't think. Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not going to get sacked if he lost this game anyway. But I definitely think now, you beat Villa next week, and whatever happens against Spurs and Man City, they won't sack. He's basically probably kept himself in a job till May. Whereas I think if he'd lost today, he might have found himself gone by January, but not now. I think it's that much of an important turnaround. It could be really symbolic. Really, this could be the result that we look back on in years to come and say, remember, we were 2-0 down against Sheffield United with half an hour to go, and we came back and won 3-2. I think it could be that pivotal. I said it before the game. Sheffield United, it's a massive, massive game for United. And it's looking that way. It's looking that way. But Sheffield United here on the attack. Wan-Bissaka. Good tackle that, because I think he's ended up with the goal kick. Oh, football, bloody hell, eh? I feel like saying that as well. Stunning, absolutely stunning. I'm exhausted. I can't wait. I can't wait for the fan cams. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I think the fan cams are going to be very, very interesting. Oh, it's a corner to Sheffield United. And a goal kick. Oh, squeaky bum time. Woodward didn't look very happy after last goal. Maybe complicates his plan to get Pochettino. Would explain his argument with Ferguson, Suspectosaurus. I doubt it. I doubt it. Williams has hurt his knee here. No, you don't want to see that. We don't want to see that, people. Lindelof's hurt his head. Williams has gone down holding his right knee. Oh, he's up now, don't worry. He's up. And that goal, I want to go back to that goal for a moment and just say that goal by Brandon Williams is absolutely massive in the context of the game. Superb. Absolutely superb. And that's been the catalyst to get us back into this game. But I think, I'm just thinking now, starting to calm down a bit, starting to realise that United have got the 3 points in a game that you know, I think anybody thought it was probably gone, to be honest with you. I'm trying to think about the player ratings and how I would go about it. Oh, it's off. It's offside. It's gone. It's a goal. Oh no! I don't bloody believe it. I don't believe it. VAR, come and save me for God's sake. Now's your time. Now is your time. He's going to VAR. He's going to VAR. Please, this is where we like VAR. Don't do this. Don't do this. Cross comes in. Hit somebody's hand. Be offside. Yes, he hits his hand. That's not a goal. VAR, I love you. I bloody love you, VAR. I love VAR. That is absolutely superb. I love VAR. It hits his hand. It's not a goal. That is not a goal. Don't lose your shit. It definitely hits his hand. They cannot not give that. They can't give it. Sit down. Shut up. No goal. That's his hand. That's definitely his hand. You can't give that goal. There's an element of doubt. You cannot not. You've got to give that goal. You can't. No, don't give that goal. You can't give it. They're looking at this. This is squeaky bum time. That's his shoulder. If I tell you what, if they didn't have red bits under their arm, that would be, you'd obviously see. Oh, they've bloody given it! You're joking! I bloody hate VAR! I hate VAR! I can't believe it! They've bloody given it! I've just tweeted I hate it! I've just tweeted I like it, and now I bloody hate it! Jokes! What a bloody joke! I can't believe that! That clearly is... It hits his arm. How does it stop if it doesn't hit his arm? Is your shoulder not part of your arm? It clearly hits his arm. Oh, you're joking. That's a joke. How does the ball stop? Has it got invisible powers? It bloody stops. Fucking hate it. United, this is a joke. United are hanging on here. Oh, I feel sick. I feel sick. I feel sick here. Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I don't even know what to say. I can't believe it. 4 minutes added on. I can't believe that goal's been given. I can't believe it. How does the ball stop if it doesn't hit his arm? Like, how does it stop if it doesn't hit his arm? I'm stunned. The ball can't stop without hitting something. He's got no part of his body that can stop a ball that's coming across him like that, other than his arm. It stops in thin air. It can't not be a bloody handball. And again, I think we've gone too defensive, haven't we? We've gone 3 at the back again, haven't we? Go on, Lingard. Oh, there was a foul off the ball there as well. Go on. Go on, Rashford. Oh, Lingard. James. Lingard. Oh, just whip across in here, Wan-Bissaka. I don't know how long the referee's adding on here, but he's added over a minute. Oh, it's because of VAR, actually. Wan-Bissaka. Oh, I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. I'm disappointed. I don't even know what to say anymore about that. It's finished. Manchester United. No, it's not. It's not finished yet. Oh, come on. Wan-Bissaka, just whip a cross in for God's sake. That's it. He's playing the bloody whistle. I'll pick this up in the match reaction. I just don't even know what to say about that, because United have ended up. Where does a point get? I mean, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's smiling because he's happy because he saved his bloody job, but it ends up being an irrelevant point, and I don't think that's a good point at the end of the day, is it? We get to 3-2, we go different. I mean, look, there's so much to talk about in that game. I think I need like a minute just to digest it all, and I'm sure you lot do as well. But ultimately, I don't understand. I would just want to get in the live comments. Am I being thick here, or should that goal have been disallowed? Because I don't see how he stops that. And as far as I'm concerned, shoulder. I don't think it's hitting his shoulder. I don't think it hits his shoulder. I think it hits something else. And I think in them circumstances that should be... I don't think it's conclusive. I don't know. I mean, are we clutching at straws? Am I clutching at straws? I don't know. Shoulder isn't a handball. Yeah, but you know what? It seems to me he stops it a little bit before that. I